Okay, folks, here we go.
Guys, here we go. Let's have a good show.
1B, stand by. Okay,
Yeah.
Yacht,
Take it at midfield. Just go right now. Go to camera 3. 3. Go to the gate. Perfect. Just like that.
I'll just go ahead.
Yeah. Graphics 2 is going to be up for the first. Okay.
Take it.
Go right now. Go to camera 3. Go. Yep. Go to the gate. Perfect. Just like that. No music.
I'm going to hand to Q, Sophie.
Wait for it.
On radio in the Canal Zone.
All right, guys, mic check.
Go ready.
Okay, Ricky, mic.
Yep, I am ready.
Wait for it.
Willie, mic check.
Yep, let's go.
1B, stand by.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Okay, and go for it, guys.
All right, here we go, guys. We are live Friday night. It is January 31st. Holy cow, the end of the month is already upon us. But nonetheless, end of the month, beginning of the weekend, and we always enjoy spending the weekend with the Canal Zone here with myself and Ricky. Ricky, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, thanks again. Like Willie says, thank you for starting your weekend with us. Friday at the Balboa Yacht Club. Happy hour at the Balboa Yacht Club. Like you guys know, brought to you by SCN Canal Zone on YouTube and Facebook, where you can always catch a ton of Canal Zone pages there. From Willie, what are some of the pages that you would recommend from Facebook that are
First
really
and foremost,
popular?
the Pan Canal Society page. You know, that
Pan
keeps you
Canal
informed of
Society
everything
page.
going on there. There's a Panama Canal Canal Zone Zonians page. That one has about 11,000 members. It's a big page. They also have that Zonians No Holds Barred. I'll pull them up here and show you. But there's a couple of them.
There's so many. Yeah, so,
And there's some of them that are actually the place where if you want to go and bicker and do all those stupid things, you can go do it there. And that way you keep the other ones clean, because that got a little bit, hairy
right,
weeks
correct,
ago.
right.
So
Like they say, you
make
got to
sure
stay
to the
your
right one.
lane. You gotta
Yeah, stay your lane. Exactly.
Stay your
Great
lane.
call.
But
Sure.
nonetheless, guys, thank you for being on the show. For that, we cheer you guys every Friday. Thank you for watching us and listening to us.
Yes, indeed. Happy Friday, everybody.
German beer, bro. Never go. If you're gonna drink beer, guys, drink German beer.
Yeah, they've been doing it a bit of a time, man. I mean, these guys have
Yeah.
they have beer purity laws there since the 1600s, man. That's
Right.
That's
There's
some
no
experience about
chemicals.
beer.
Right. So
Right.
as you get older, is your stomach. I mean, those chemicals really screw you
Yeah,
up.
certainly.
Yes.
Certainly.
Well, listen, to all you guys out there that are watching the show for the first time, this is what you can expect of our shows. We do a lot of Balboa High School and Cristobal High School school memories. In fact, tonight we might have a guest talk about that. We talk about the work life in the Canal Zone. We talk about life in general in the Canal Zone. We have a historical episode once a month, which is coming up next week, with David Dahlstrom, phenomenal historian, Canal Zone historian. His research is really unique. He stays away from what everybody hears when you hear about the Canal Zone. The excavation and
Right.
he reaches on this what was happening on the side. What was happening in the towns, etc. In our show, we also update you all the time on the Canal Zone reunion, which we just had, and tonight we're going to have Alex Reyes to talk about that. We update you on the Panama Canal Society and the University of Florida Canal Zone collection. Plus all the latest bochincha that we can get a hold of, and lately has been overwhelming interest in what's going on in the canal and the new administration. So we have been talking about that a lot. I think tonight we might talk a little bit about it. Not much happened, but we do have always an analysis for you guys.
And
that
truth
mostly,
be told, we've recognized that for the better part of a month plus now, that's been front and center. And while it is, of course, very interesting, and in some points it's become, heated, but we want to taper it down a little bit now. We want to go back to what we're here for, which is celebrate the Canal Zone and not be taking sides on these kind of things and having all these debates, and instead just celebrate the great times that we had in the zone. And that's part of what we're going to do tonight. In fact, a big part of it is going to be that Canal Zone reunion, because man, let me tell you, if you didn't see pictures on Facebook last week, you definitely aren't looking, because they were all over the place. Job well done with those guys. Alex is going to join us. Hopefully, Richard Grimison, if he's is able to connect, is going to join us. And the same thing with Andy Eftimitis. He's going to hopefully join us as well. Those canal cruises were a huge hit. A lot of really cool video from that as well. And so, yeah, we want to go back to that, to the essence of this show, which is the Canal Zone and the history of the zone and all that. Of course, like Ricky said, next week, Dave Dahlstrom, our Canal Zone historian, is going to be back to fill us in on some more Canal Zone history. So, back to a more fun, positive place, and kind of taper this other stuff down a bit,
But we'll definitely update you on Marco Rubio's.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it is news. We can't deny it, and we can't ignore it. But we don't need to make an entire focus of the show back and forth, because at this point we're kind of going in circles. Ports, who controls them, who doesn't. At this point, it's really irrelevant. The talks are going to start, like it or not.
If anything, which we might touch on a little bit tonight, is the Senate had an angle with this fourth bridge, and so if we can get Andrew on,
there are some nuances there that still, and if nothing else, it's some people like to talk about that. It is important to us, so we certainly enjoy having that conversation. But
I mean, we have
you don't want to beat a horse to death
happening.
Either.
We're not going to beat a horse, because this is a new angle that the Ted Cruz's Senate hearing brought up. So we've all talked already enough on the ports, enough on the corruption, enough on the Chinese.
I mean, I feel like I live in the ports now. I've been talking about them so damn much, So,
I know. I feel like I already know what they look like, how they're set up, and exactly where they're located.
I'm going to show up there. They're going to be like, "Hey, Will, how you doing, man?"
I know. When's the last time we've talked so much about? We know about port concessions. We know about the pilots that take the ships in. Oh my God!
What
they say, Willie? TMI, too much information.
Yeah, right. It is. It's overkill, man. It's overkill.
Yeah. But nonetheless, guys, we're gonna have a great show tonight with our guests.
Alex will be tuning in shortly. He just messaged me that he was running a little bit late, but he'll be ready. So no rush. We got some stuff going on here. By the way, guys, our birthday list is a little light today. So if you know of some birthdays that we may not be aware of, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll of course make sure that we mention them as well and celebrate them, because this one we feel like we're coming in a little on the. We're just bringing some spare change today.
This was a small group. It's strange, that we do birthdays every week. It's really strange how some months a lot of kids, and some months just not so many. So you start thinking, what part of the year, I don't know if this is normal.
Go back 9 months. What was going on? It wasn't a lot of fun.
Right. Oh, it must have been like rainy season or something, or travel season or something.
A little stressful. There wasn't a whole lot of fun going on.
Right, because the January, the December, the 9 month after December, the 9 month after New Year's, and the 9 month after Valentine's. Man, those lists are like this.
Right on, for sure. Look at Chris. He's getting ready to fly to Cincinnati. Awesome. Safe travels, Chris, of course, with everything,
everything that we've been hearing.
The news right now with all that stuff.
Right,
be safe out there, my friend. Keep your eyes peeled. But yeah, it's it is. I mean, nice. it's a thin birthday list this time, but nonetheless.
A thin birthday and a thin bochinche. It's going to be a thin bochinche, because we've got some great bochincheros on tonight. That's why it's going to be a thin bochinche, because we're going to have bochincheros all night.
Remember last time we had Alex on, it was a 15-minute show, and that ended up going up an hour and a half, 2 hours. But, enjoyable conversation. So, I mean, I'm happy to stay engaged, because people loved it. People in the audience were chiming in, so it was really good. I did put a message out to the class of 86, because we have our planning committee starting to get ready for stuff for next year. So I told them chime in and maybe even ask some questions so we can start getting ideas for what we want to do next year. And now that Alex will be available to answer them. And again, hopefully if Andrew joins us as well, he can talk about, the things that Panama offers.
Especially.
Yeah, absolutely.
He owned the boats that
he did.
Out.
And that Canal cruise was awesome. Your sister did taking a lot of pictures and really spread the wealth on that one. It looked like a lot of fun. It was that's the kind of the essence of the Canal Zone. Sometimes the Panama Canal. What else do you call the essence of the zone? That and the Panama Canal Railroad, which, by the way, I lost sight of my calendar and dates, and I got a lot of dates screwed up, and I just wasn't paying attention the other day. There's a gentleman on he's on Instagram that does a channel called PRR History. It's Panama Railroad History. His name is Nodier Garcia. Really, really nice guy, really cool guy. And he had messaged me back in December. And he said, hey, January 27th is the anniversary of the railroad. We should do a show. I was like, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, let's plan on it. We got one on 31st every Friday. And I mentioned I'll reach out to Tommy Morris and see if he could join us as well, and have him and even Eddie Dolan, who's got some history from his grandfather with the railroad and some stuff he actually did when he was much younger as a kid. And the other night he messaged me and he's like, hey, just wanted to touch base and see if we still want to do something with the railroads. And I was like, yeah, we definitely want to plan something and get something going because I really want to talk about it. Didn't put two and two together that he was reminding me of 27th. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how I went looking somewhere and I see his posting of, the 27th was the anniversary of it. And then I went and saw the email that we had corresponded back in December. So, no, they're very sorry. I don't know what I was thinking, man. I didn't even put two together because we should have had him on tonight. That would have been a really good show on the Panama Road, which would have been a nice change of direction with what we've been doing. But next week, I'd like to maybe do that, but we'll have Dave on, and that usually is a full segment there. So, maybe the week after we'll try and get you on there. 21st of February, we're going to have
the shows coming up then,
we got a lot of stuff
reunion
right now
tonight,
hopper,
history next week, and the railroad the week after that.
And then on the 21st,
we'll own the Canal Zone, so we'll talk about movie. No, just kidding.
Well, no, the 21st, yeah, and by then maybe a deal signed, right? Who knows? But no, the class of 75 is going to be joining us. Remember, they have their upcoming reunion in Orlando, so they're going to be joining us. First of a couple of segments that we'll do throughout the year to kind of celebrate their class there. And then the other one that we have to get moving on sooner than later is the next Panama Canal report with Andrew Eftimitis. We want to do that Gatun transit. We've got several people involved in that, so it's going to be a really fun, an entire description. Tugboat captain,
who are the guys?
Ship pilot, a marine traffic control person, and a locks person. So every party involved in a transit is going to be there to talk about it. So it's a really cool way to experience, what it was like to do that.
And celebrate the good job they're doing till today. So, a lot of those guys that are doing a phenomenal job today were trained by these guys that we're going to have on.
For sure. And, at the end of the day, with all this stuff that we're talking about, it's just not a reflection, and any complaints about the canal operations is not a reflection on the guys operating the canal, really. This is way up above that, the stuff that's going on there. So, it's nice to celebrate with these guys. They do a wonderful job, man. I mean,
the whole world agrees those guys are killing it on the operational level. And Willie, and then 4 weeks above, now that I saw Cassie Sprague on with us, her son is
Braden
taking on the legacy of keeping the Sprague art alive. So we're going to have him on to talk about what his plans are to keep this legacy going for his generation. So
yes, he has another great show, right? And not only that, but he's also carrying on that nautical legacy that because remember when Al was on,
he was a big fisherman,
loves
big diver too.
And so Braden
just stud all the way around, man.
Braden sailed his boat from the United States to Panama.
Zonian. Yeah,
he sailed that boat from the United States to Panama, and it's called the Pasha, just like Al's boat was called. So, he's really picking up that legacy. He's going to join us to talk about that and the Al Sprague collection, which is now on some really cool shirts. You got to see these shirts. They look really, really awesome. But also, we're going to have him join us periodically just to check in and see where he's at, because he's doing a lot of traveling on the boat. And so it'll be just a fun way to touch base with
and that's the legacy generation of Zonians. The younger generations. Right on, man. We're going to start introducing that group. On our show. So we have him with 3. So we have an incredible lineup for you guys.
We do. We've got a jam-packed next probably 6 weeks of shows to definitely a lot of variety, but all of it is Zonian history, Zonian legacy, Zonian memories. So that's the best part. Frank, how you doing? Good to see you. You see, we got Buggo 20. Okay, that's a new name. Haven't seen that. Whoever you are, good to see you. Glad you're joining us. Rich, glad you're on again. So we're getting people
Rich.
now from
Hey,
Facebook because last
Rich.
week
I know
we didn't
Rich had
have.
a birthday. Did we
Yes,
celebrate him last week?
we did. We celebrated it,
Okay,
but
okay, Rich. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. I just saw your name. I'm like,
no. Here's what happened. Remember last week and the week before, the Facebook comments weren't showing up here. So a lot of our friends
okay,
on
okay,
Facebook
all right.
watching were throwing comments and we weren't
All right.
seeing them.
Well, happy birthday,
So
Rich. Make
yeah,
sure that
so
we
yeah,
know
happy
that we
birthday
are.
again.
Yeah, we have you there, Mr. Rich. Thanks.
Okay,
man.
so Cassie's great. Not to Panama yet. Okay, but he's getting ready to then, I guess. Or he did mention to me that he's doing something, I think, in the Bahamas soon. So maybe that's it. But either way, that's still really cool to follow that adventure of another Sprague. And when he comes on the show, like I had mentioned to him earlier when we were chatting, that'll be the third generation Sprague that we have on our show. Because we've had Al on the show, we have Cassie on the show several times, and then now we'll have Braden on. So that's kind of cool, man. I'm really
What's
looking
his name,
forward to
Willie?
that. Braden. Alfred Braden. Yes, and Taylor. Last name is Taylor, of course. That Cassie's married, but we always use our maiden names here, for our Zonians because a lot of people I don't know who you're talking about. Oh wait, Cassie Sprague. Oh yeah, Cassie Sprague. Right on.
Yeah,
So,
no, we do that in my family too. We call all the girls, sons Royos and daughters Royos, and
it's the identifier, right? And for the Zonians, the identifier is the maiden name. So.
Right on. You met my brother. Oh, you saw Juan. Wenta Juan. Yes, you saw. So you must have met Roby. Right on, because you already know Reynaldo.
Yeah, there you go. Right on. Yeah, I did see Roby. Roby was in some pictures that I guess towards the end he finally made his appearance at the Canal.
Oh, he goes to the Saturday event. He goes to the pool event and then to the evening event. He Saturdays are his days there.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's Mark Owens is Buggo 20. Right on. Okay.
Wow,
Mark Owens is another. Okay, so guys, Vern Couturier has agreed to help us out with some Atlantic side content. He was in Atlantic side along with Mark Owens. Mark Owens has an interesting story because Mark Owens was a military brat, but Mark Owens' dad was stationed several times in the zone. So he went to school in the Atlantic side in kindergarten, elementary school, junior high, and high school, but he would come and go a couple of times.
Two tours?
Three, if I'm not mistaken.
He's going to join us and let us know. You don't have to be voted in. You're Zonian, bro.
If you've left and come back, then you kind of...
Three times, you're as Zonian as it gets, because something brought you back. That Canal zone brought you back.
So now Mark is he's class of 85.
Oh,
and
right on.
Vern, I believe, what class are you in? If you don't mind, throw it in the chat there if you're still on. I
would guess from the way he speaks 80 or 81.
I would think so, somewhere in there, probably
79. That's my age, my group.
So again, we've got several people that are going to look at how many times he was in Panama. Check this out. There you go. Oh yeah, for sure. 4 times. Yeah, you definitely you qualify for sure. But so Atlantic side, rest easy. We're bringing some content now. Ricky will stop giving you guys such a hard time and the whole inferiority complex.
Oh, I give that guy so much love. By the way, Willie, I know we didn't want to get into politics, but now that we're talking about Zonians, Sola, the guy that's been on the Senate hearing, he's a Zonian. He also gets the title Zonian.
Correct.
He did a great job, in my opinion. But anyways, so Sola, if you're watching our show, because him and some of our chat, our political science chat group know each other. Several of the guys in the chat group actually know Sola. 3 or 4 of our people in our chat group. Know
him more than just an acquaintance. Where they've dealt with him.
I know this is so Sola is a Zonian, man. And right on, man. So
very interesting. And look at what Cassie said. If Braden's going to put Sprague on you, right on. I mean, it's such an identifiable name, right? And now especially he's getting involved in the family business. So right on, good for him, man. Yeah, and I saw one of his pictures on Instagram. In fact, I probably could pull it up here to show you guys.
Yeah, he's a
guy's sporting a cool shirt, man. He's sporting the first design. Let me pull that up.
He's got that Zonian Wapo.
Yeah, he does. He's definitely got the Zonian look for sure. Let's see here. Sailing the Pasha. Check this guy out. Okay. Oh, yeah. Here you go, Braden. You're going to get some airtime here. We'll put some.
We got to celebrate the young generation, Willie. We really do.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
We've got to give them a space in this Zonian community.
All right. Let's see.
They're our future. They're the ones who are going to be talking about us.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're the ones who are going to be saying, hey, you want to see about the Zonians? Check this out.
Okay, here we go. Make sure I get it right. And am I sharing the screen? There it is. Okay, so let's kick that one on. So there he is.
Are you ready to go? All right. Yes. Mama Willie, Mama Willie.
My internet would do that, right? Yeah, I'm my bandwidth and stuff, right? I got a bunch of stuff open. Here we go. Check out the shirt, guys. Look at this guy. All right, I'll find another one because he had another one here earlier. I'll find it.
That was my phone. That's my phone. Well, speaking of Margaritaville, just so you guys know, Maestro, Willie Maestro.
I did.
Where is Margaritaville? In the Canal Zone. Sorry to say, but Margaritaville, it's in the Canal Zone.
That's funny. That's funny. But anyway,
that most famous song in the world's got the Canal Zone in it.
So the whole story behind Braden and the boat and why we're talking about him now, he's done a lot of stuff, obviously Al Sprague's grandson, but they've rolled out a recent collection of shirts. It looks really, really cool with a lot of his paintings and not obviously a pure painting on it per se, but a lot of them are some of the images that he put on canvas and then put them on like fish or whatever else on there. But they're really, really good looking shirts. I certainly will be wearing one of those. And we'll be bringing him on to talk about that and talk about his role with Panama Arts. But nonetheless, we're excited to talk about that. And yeah, like we saw, Mark Owens was there 4 times. Vern, class of 80. You were right. You hit it on the money there. Class of 80. So we have a class of 85 angle and a class of 80 angle for some CHS and Atlantic side coverage. So we're looking forward to that, guys. Should be exciting, and that should be a good time, guys. Absolutely.
Right on, Vern. My age group. So we probably played football together or baseball together or something. We're definitely from the same. Hey, what's up, Paul? Good to see you. Well, Willie, let's move on right into birthdays since we're going to be doing bochinche with the OG bochincheros tonight.
Yeah,
so
if they jump on
for them.
Pick some WhatsApp. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Cassie. I'll throw them on here in just a bit. We got some pictures of the shirts. Here we go. Perfect. Oh yeah, heck yeah. Check these out, man. Right.
Yeah, let's look at them before we get into birthdays.
Yeah, absolutely. Just take a second here.
But yeah, Margarita, guys. All you guys out there was on the Atlantic side. I mean, all you Zonians already know that, but those that don't, Margarita is a town in the Atlantic side of the Canal Zone. And Jimmy Buffett likes to celebrate it with his song. Very, very famous song.
Awesome. And Cassie, where is that? Is that here? I guess that's here in the States, huh? Or is that in Panama? I guess I actually be in Panama, probably. It's somewhere tropical, that's for sure, because there's palm trees in the background. Cool. Let's see. And look at that shirt. Isn't that awesome? Check out that shirt, man. And look, it's got the Al Sprague signature on the sleeve there. Right on.
I don't think it's coming on, Willie.
Oh, look at me, stupid. I didn't put it on the screen. Huevao. Esto estaba por huevao. So let's look at here. Here's the catch of the day there, right on. There's Cassie and Braden. Look at that. Nice little catch there. I think that's in Panama. I have to assuming that's in Panama.
Look, the architecture in the background, I would say Panama,
Yeah, and certainly the palm trees, it's definitely not anything north. But there's the shirt. And now look, the Centenario.
Oh, the bridge.
He's in the canal there.
Cool,
yeah,
sure,
look at that. Yeah. So look at on the sleeve there. You can see Al Sprague's signature on there. So you know that it's the real thing. Very cool. And there he is posing with another one of the shirts at that famous Al Sprague sign in the causeway. Look at that beautiful background with Panama on there. So very cool. That's going to be really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that collection, and definitely I will be buying one of those because those are good looking shirts, man. That'll be a cool shirt to walk around the reunion with, is an Al Sprague shirt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Saturday at the pool.
Yeah.
No, you got to wear long sleeves. Sorry, man. If you're in the pool at a reunion, you're going to get a heat stroke.
Yeah, no. That'll be good though. That looks like a good looking shirt there, a good looking collection, and we're gonna learn some more about this family history, this Zonian family history. That's now we have another episode of that story here with Braden. So that'll be really cool.
A little bit
selling shirts at Diablo.
Go to the reunion.
Okay.
If you go to the reunion in Orlando, and you go to the pool, you got to wear long sleeve shirts and a big hat. Or
you should, man, because you get that damn skin cancer. That stuff, you don't play with that stuff, man.
You're not gonna survive.
No, you get burned. You get fried, man. God, I got burned really bad last year. I really wasn't paying attention, and I got back to the room, and I mean, it was. Oof,
Oh, for
I
the
was
golf
red like a
tournament.
tomato.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. That was a
Yes.
mess. But anyway, Cassie said if you're down in Panama at the Diablo Bait and Tackle, you can buy the shirts there. So now you know
That's
you
a
don't have to
Zonian
order them in the
store.
States. Yeah, so
That's
there you go,
a
guys.
sponsor of the Canal Zone reunion. Bueno, man,
Margaritaville was
that's
one of the Caribbean
I
islands,
think
but the song
Margaritaville
always reminds
was
me.
one of the Caribbean islands, but the song always reminds. Yeah, of course
Well,
it wasn't.
I like
we're-
Ricky's story. I like Ricky's
yeah,
version
we're
better.
going with our story. All right, let's move on to birthdays, everybody, because we've got a short list, but what we really want to get to is to our number one bochinchero, the OG Alex Reyes, to talk
Yeah.
about the awesome job and the results of the reunion that just happened last week.
Yeah.
All right, to start off tonight,
And real quick, before you start, if you guys have birthdays, it'll give us a little chance here because you got that 8-second lag anyway. But if you have
Correct,
birthdays, we have a very small list here. So throw them out there. Even if they're on our list, it's okay. But if they're not, throw them out so we can celebrate our
yeah,
fellow
our
Zonians'
parents weren't
birthdays,
getting
sure.
busy this time of the year 9 months ago.
Apparently not, man. Must have been a slow
Well, this will go
time.
very special man, a very special person in my life. It's like my father, Mr. Curtis, man. Happy birthday to you up there.
Yes. It's Jerry Curtis'
Great
dad.
man.
Good guy.
Basically raised me like my mom raised Jerry. Anyway, guys, Willie George, happy birthday to you, young man. Monty Burke, class of 85.
Hey, Monty.
Happy birthday.
Nice.
Class of 81, the very, very beautiful one. I mean, beautiful. This is like drop dead beautiful. Lisa Schrader. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Yep.
Sherry Goldsberry.
Mhm.
También very, very beautiful. God, I swear, Willie, we are the Zonian boys are the most spoiled men on earth because of the girls we grew up with. It's beautiful. There's Renee Carter Collins. Happy birthday to you. Tracy Spee. What a wonderful human being. I love her. Out of Diablo.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Tracy. Larry Parks from the Big Parks family. Very respectful family. Mike Nazarenko. All you guys that played football know Mike. One of the probably the best quarterback that's ever played football in Panama.
I heard that guy was quite the baller.
Quite the baller, man. Mike Nazarenko. Good human being, too. Darren Boatwright. Happy birthday,
Nice.
Darren. To the great
So
Raul
here's a
Haynes.
funny story about Darren Boatwright.
All right.
He was my catcher for Red Machine. Only time I ever pitched was in high school. I never pitched in Little League or Farm League or any of that or Fast League, But in high school, at the beginning of the season, we were just practicing and at the end of practice, jogging off the field, and Coach Bales is trying out somebody at the mound pitching. And I was like, "Hey, Coach, let me throw." He's like, "All right." So I threw a couple of pitches, and fast forward, I'm on the mound. I'm starting pitcher. I was like, "Right on, this is cool." And you're getting the signals, right? One is a fastball, two the curve, slider, this, that, and the other. And of course, I had zero junk. My curve, if it broke that much, it was that was a curve. So I'd be on the mound there, and he'd go one. And I'd be like, "No." He'd go one, no, one. Damn, throw the fastball, throw that. And after a couple of innings, and I'm like, we're on a bench. And I'm like, "Dude, what's with just a fastball?" He goes, "I wasn't supposed to tell you, but Coach said don't let him throw anything but a fastball. He doesn't have any junk. He thinks he does." I was like, I didn't really think I did, but I figured I had to throw it, man. But
Well, at least he was honest to you. And that's another Zonian trait there you can expect from all your Zonian friends.
They got your back.
To get the true honesty, man. If you're a Bobo, they're going to tell you you're a Bobo.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of great athletes, Raul Haynes, happy birthday.
Yes.
Yesterday, I think it was his birthday, or 2 days ago. James Beatty, happy birthday, Mr. James. Kim Lauterball, otra belleza, happy birthday. Speaking of belleza, Sylvia Copeland, happy birthday. Evelyn Stelfox, all these beautiful women. Katrina Winberg, the youngest of the Winberg clan.
That's right.
And last but not least, to all our parents that were busy on this time of the year, Jennifer Farrar, happy birthday.
Yes, and we have a couple in the chat here. Mark Owens was on the 24th of January, so happy birthday, Mark.
Happy Mark, yes.
Happy, a little bit belated birthday, but also, let me see
put
who
it on
else
our
was
list
on here.
for next year.
Tiernan's is in a couple of weeks, so don't worry, we'll get to it, Tiernan, but you're going to get a little early shout out anyway, so happy soon-to-be birthday for you, Tiernan. Thanks for chiming in. So, yeah, I think with that one, that does give us our birthday, so we got to celebrate birthdays with our beautiful Panama Murga happy birthday song. Yeah, Dave Dahlstrom sent me that, and that was really cool. And then I actually found the video where they played, and it was a Murga band that walked into one of the reunions, I think, or something. But they walked in like a hotel room or something, and
Yeah.
this
Speaking
band
of
played.
Murga, I saw the video of the Murga they had at the reunion. Wow, those
Yeah,
guys killed it too, man.
they did. They
One
absolutely
thing,
did.
yeah,
And
that music resonates with the Zonians, the Murgas do.
mhm.
I wonder
It
if
is. You
Alex has
feel
any
it, man.
Murga music. Well, we
He does.
lost Alex.
He jumped. I'm not sure he jumped off, and maybe he'll jump back on here. Let me see if he threw anything in the
We're ready
chat
for
there.
Alex. Where are you, Alex?
You guys are speaking over each other. Too much excitement. Yes, we are. We are. We've gotten pretty good about it, but every so often we still lose track of that, and we're supposed to, when one's talking, the other one should pick up and stop, but
I
we
know.
both get all caught up in the moment. So
I'm telling you, it's just doing this show, man. It makes it so
we,
exciting.
we need to do like walkie talkie. After you finish talking, say over. And then the next person to speak over. Okay,
No, we're
But
good.
no,
We're good.
we've done pretty good lately. We kind of just fell back a little today, but today's one of these off the cuff kind of shows anyway, where we kind of slap some stuff together. So we'll go with that. But
Well, we're
a
supposed
lot
to
more
have
stuff
3
in the
guests.
chat here. So let's keep engaging here because we love the comments. There we go. There's Jim Duff's nice shirt, nice catch. Yeah, indeed, it was quite a fish catch there. And Jim's in Aruba, so nice for you to chime in
Oh,
from Aruba.
nice Aruba.
Yeah,
That's over
it's
by
nice when we have people from
Venezuela.
overseas chiming in. That's kind of cool. Absolutely. And then Cassie's saying here, also have Pasha's Perch store open. Link on PanamaArt.com. There you go, guys. Get on to PanamaArt.com. A lot of new things going on there. A lot of new artwork and collections to be enjoyed there. And I did see that there's a new tour as part of the Canal Zone reunion that they did that was a Al Sprague art tour. And it goes to different locations that are showcasing some of his art. So that looked really cool to see his paintings there. Saw that one big giant picture that was commissioned. I think it's at a bank lobby or something, but I think it's like 7-8 feet wide or something like that. But pretty cool. It was really cool to see that, and looking forward to maybe trying to do that next year in our Class of 86 reunion. So anyway, Class of 86, folks, if you're on here, when Alex comes on, start throwing some questions out. Let's get some ideas for what we may want to do to make our reunion an awesome one. We've got a year to plan it, so let's definitely make it a good one here. Look at Tiernan here. My mom, Alberta Corrigan, lifelong Atlantic Sider, was actually next door neighbors. Oh, very cool. Right on. Well, glad to have you on, Alberta, both you and Tiernan. Glad to see you guys on here again. Awesome. Let's see, Marcelino Nunez. Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Panama Canal. Indeed. Welcome to the Panama Canal. Welcome to the Balboa Yacht Club Friday night. And we got Dodd. Oh, that's Tiernan Dupree. Birthdays 220. Yep. We'll get that. Don't worry. We'll get to it. We keep them.
Yeah, Roby's coming
here,
up too.
Yeah, Margarita Nights at Columbus Burgers. There we go. That's something we got to talk about one day is Zonian eateries back in the day, where you got the best this, where you got the best
Knights
that.
of Columbus did have good burgers. I was just talking to John Canzero about where do we eat in the Atlantic side?
Right.
And and the KC came up.
Interesting. There you go. So it's recognized then. Yeah, we're great. I wish I could remember the name of the 2 men who worked there. Yeah, right. Well, somebody will come up with that. Speaking of remembering something, I'm glad you brought that up, Jim, because I've got something here that I got to put the question out. Okay, we got to find out what this is here, where this was at. I told Devin Kane. Devin Kane's the one that posted this picture. Where is it? Where is it? Hold on, I'll show you here.
And of course, the Gatun Yacht Club, another good spot. There was actually like 3 or 4 that John had mentioned that I remember they were pretty good.
Yeah. No, there was. I mean, some of these places, even at the Yacht Club, I always enjoyed the dinner there. They were, the Yacht Club was a good place to eat. Oh gosh, where is that, Devin? Come on,
Oh yeah, my parents would take us to the American Legion.
Yeah,
I remember they always had good food up there.
Mm-hmm. They sure did. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't find that picture now. Oh, I know where I have it. Hold on, I sent it to myself. See, I knew I would lose it, so I know myself enough that I'll lose this stuff, and so therefore I got to find it somewhere else. But check this out. Okay, so Devin Kane posted this. Let's see. Okay, here we go. He posted this today. I saw it. Whoa, what? That just got really loud. Is that you, Ricky?
Mm-mm.
I'm hearing a big echo. Is anyone else hearing that? Anyway, so check this out, guys. This it's on a railroad tracks. I mean, it's certainly from the style of it. This looks pretty old. I mean, it's a color picture, but it could, I mean, it could have been early '60s or something. There is a Panama flag in the background. I was trying to figure out where that could be, where that railroad crossing could be. It may not even be the zone. I mean, there was some railroad in Panama itself. Panama's had out Puerto Armuelles had railroads as well and things like that. But it looks like some kind of a. Oh, again, I didn't put it on the screen. Oh, darn. Sorry, guys. It's so stupid when I do that. Okay, so this looks like a rail car, but an ambulance. And certainly the color orange doesn't look like anything that we would have had in the zone. But I'm just really curious what that is. And if anybody has any idea what that is, certainly throw it in the chat. Because, again, no idea what that could possibly be. But when Devin posted, I was like, well, you know what? Let me throw it on the show on the screen to see if anybody has any idea what that is. If not, maybe like a Google Lens or something will probably maybe find a picture of it. But anyway, just thought that was kind of interesting. Ricky, any idea what the hell that is?
I don't know. With the background, that kind of looks like a gym. So would that be like Paraíso, Pedro Miguel?
I was thinking that, but if that was the case, it would certainly be at a time that was much sooner than the era that this vehicle
That
looks
looks like a 50s.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
okay.
And that, because I was thinking the same thing, that maybe that was that rail crossing right there at Pedro Miguel, but I think that one was more uphill. You came uphill and turned. But again, that era of a vehicle, in that era, this area here would still be Canal Zone. It wouldn't be Panama.
Yeah,
right?
look at the palm trees in the back.
Yeah.
So that's definitely Panama.
So I'm wondering,
that tall grass in the
wasn't
front.
there railroads
that's
out there by
definitely
Puerto Armuelles and out in the interior? They had some
Oh, yeah,
older railroads?
yeah. You're right. Puerto Armuelles had a railroad.
Correct.
That
They
is
sure
correct.
did, to move the bananas and stuff to the ports. So it could be that. But anyway, if somebody has an idea what that could be, certainly throw it in the chat and find out. Otherwise, I'm just kind of curious. Looks like a gym to the left. Yeah, it sure does. I mean, it really does. But nonetheless, we'll find out, Devin. Rest assured, we'll put our crack research crew here, our Zonian research crew, to get to work on this and find out what the heck that's all about. But anyhow, we're going to keep some comments going here. However, the other thing we're going to do is bring on our guest here, because joining us then tonight, let me get our screen all set up before I cue him up. But as you guys know, last week was the Canal Zone Reunion 2025. This has now become an annual event that's done in the
Fourth,
Canal
right?
Zone. I believe it is. We'll find out for sure here in just a second. But it's now become the winter version of the reunion, I guess, for lack of a better term. But it's a really, really cool event. A lot of good stuff there, and it is really blown up from what it originally was. It originally looked like a really small get together with some people, and now it's become a full-fledged event. So nonetheless, Alex Reyes, thank you so much for joining us here on Happy at the Balboa Yacht Club, man. Congrats on an awesome event. Well done, man.
Muy bien.
You might be muted, my friend.
Yeah. No,
There
it
you
was
go.
it was great. How you guys doing? Thank you guys
Oh,
for
man,
having
we're
me
loving
on
it.
SCN Canal Zone.
That's right.
Right on.
Friday
This
night.
is
Happy hour,
really-
Papa.
This is really the way it is. SCN Canal Zone. Pardon the dogs barking in the neighborhood.
It's part of Panama, man. It's what we
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But so your event ended officially on Sunday, right, or Saturday?
It ended on Sunday officially. Chushi. Hey! Nova!
You got a ñeque or a curumandi out there somewhere.
Chushi, loco. We live in the barrio, man. It officially ended on Sunday. We had, the Toboga cruise was like the final send off, but I was there at the hotel on Monday, and there was some people hanging out in the lobby chilling, and then I went there today to talk to them, and I saw Lori Nickersher and her husband there still hanging out. So
Oh,
people
right on.
extended their stays, but officially it
Sure.
ended on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, Cassie, shut those dogs up. I know, right?
I'm gonna go.
Now, did you stay at the hotel the entire time of the reunion, or did you go back home?
Well, hold on a second. I stayed there.
Got it. Oh, that's funny though. But no, listen.
Yeah, that's
and if
why
you
I
have-
like cats.
Yeah, and if you're watching right now, and you were there, please let us know that you were there and let us know what you thought of it, what your favorite part of it was. Our class of 86, hopefully some of those guys are tuning in and watching. We're getting ready to start planning our reunion down there next year. So we'd love to maybe get some ideas on what worked, what didn't work, what was, all the exciting things, and most of all, how to start it up. And by the way, talking to Mitchie Hearn, not Mitchie Overstreet, but Mitchie Hearn, um, we travel together a lot, and we're talking about doing this trip next year. And we figured there's probably going to be a large contingent from Tampa going to this reunion. So we're going to start working, as soon as we get our dates confirmed, start working on a kind of a flashback pseudo charter flight where we had a big group of Zonians all traveling together on a plane. That would be a lot of fun to have a bunch of us going down to Panama together for a reunion. So we're looking forward to that as well. But anyone else, class of 86, Ricky, your class of 80 is probably going to be or 81 is going to be doing something there. So, you guys chime in and ask some questions because here's one of the big key players of that reunion that can answer your questions on what to do, how far out to plan it, and things of that nature. So anyway, like I was asking you, did you stay at the reunion the whole time? That Wednesday or Thursday to Monday.
I stayed Friday and Saturday. I stayed Friday and Saturday because that's the days that were really going off in the hotel. I was there Wednesday night. We had the Bienvenida,
Okay.
and the first day of registration, and the lobby bar was just bubbling with love.
Nice.
It was bubbling. Like people were checking in. Very similar to an Orlando reunion where you don't even get past the
Right.
reception, and you're like, "Hey, what's up?" I had to be moving around on Wednesday night. On Thursday, we had the fishing tournament, so I had to be out there early. Friday, I was golfing, so I didn't really stay at the hotel. But Friday night, I did stay there, and that was super. But you got to pace yourself at a reunion. You can't.
Yes.
I always say that. Learned early.
You got to pace yourself. So Friday night, I was in bed semi early, and then Saturday was blow all the stops.
Right. Go all out.
Go all out because
You put all this work into it, you might as well.
yeah, and it was great. It was great, and the feedback we got from the people was really positive.
Sure.
Some really good ideas to make it better because hey, man, we're learning here.
Yeah.
We have a really good example of the Orlando reunion, and we already have the perfect guests.
Right.
So now it's just be
Trained
able to give
guest.
them a good experience.
Now you fine tune it.
Now you fine tune it, and then you go up. Hey, ¿qué pasó, loco?
Hey, Lee.
Yeah, and like you said, to your point, I mean, look, there's so many chats in here right now talking about what an awesome time everybody had, and it really was. Every day, every hour, somebody was posting a picture of an event, and for those of us that weren't there, I can assure you that I speak for most of us and say, man, I wish I was there because it looked like a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for next year and
it was
get
really
this thing going
magical
again. Yeah,
it was
really
magical.
was. What would you say was the one thing that you really were looking forward to and it didn't happen? We'll start with that and then we'll go all the positives.
I think I don't think there's a category for that, Willie.
Okay. That's
Okay.
Congrats.
The fishing tournament, we went for 16 participants for the inaugural year.
Okay.
I thought that was going to sell out a lot sooner because there's a lot of good nostalgia and memories
Certainly.
of growing up, going fishing with whoever, Boy Scout camp. And
Right.
that took a while, but it eventually did fill up, like in the last week. Thanks to David and Myra Sykes, who got the real fishing on. There's some good fishing stories though. After that,
Nice.
what else? Maybe you put me on the spot there because maybe look. Like I just
Well, that's
saw,
good though because what you're basically telling us is that hey, our committee, me and you guys, did a wonderful job and everybody stepped up, and so you didn't have any of these like, wow, I wish this had happened this way. It turns out that you guys
right.
put the work in and it came out the way you wanted.
Yeah, if I had to really think hard about it, everything that we could have done better was more backstage stuff, more behind the scenes stuff. But out in front, super. And for instance, I printed a ticket that said the train leaves at 7:30.
Right.
The train left at 9.
Well,
So
but you have to do that with Zonians because they'll probably get there about 8:30 anyway. So that worked out perfect.
yeah, but people waiting out in front of the station and they get antsy. But everybody was really patient. You know what? The Zonians were patient, man.
Yeah.
Super patient. So
Sure. Well, all of it was the experience, and half of it is just, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long,
Yeah,
So
just
you're
hanging
catching
out,
up with
right?
somebody while you're waiting anyway. And listen, Zonians can hang out anywhere. That's the best part. So
that's
we'll make
true.
a log in the middle of the desert, a place to sit and talk for. They come to rescue us. Hold on, we're not done talking yet. And let us.
That's
We
perfect.
got
You hit the
stories to
nail on
tell.
the head, Willie. You hit the nail on
Yeah.
the head. It's the
But
Zonians that make the reunion.
yes, exactly. The events support it and they enhance it, but it's really about getting together with people, and having a great time and seeing people that you haven't seen in a while. So,
Yeah.
yes, ajo. I love
I'm
Juan Thompson
laughing.
always
I'm
say that.
laughing at Juan
Ajo.
Thompson because the class of '88 had a very big contingent there,
Nice.
a surprisingly big contingent. But then Saturday night after we do our gig, we have what's called group pictures by town site and then by classes.
Okay.
And so we called up class of 70, class of 75, class of 80, and the class of 88 was always like, "Hey, where are we gonna go?" I'm like, "It's not your year, guys.
Right, right, right.
Do the math. I don't know
Yeah.
who was your math teacher. It's not your year. Wait
Well, I can't wait
until."
for our 23rd reunion.
But of
What kind
course,
of
it was
number is
all
that, man?
joking around. But they ended up pushing everybody out of the way and having their own picture. Class of '88, I gotta hand it to you. Class of '88 was fun.
They're going to
All
have
the
their
classes
reunion,
were
like it
fun.
or not.
Yeah.
Good for them. Right on. We'll drink to that class of '88 then. Well done, man. Go ahead and do your reunion anyway. What the hell? That's a Zonian way of doing stuff.
But speaking of what you guys are planning, '86.
Mm-hmm.
What we're starting to see is the trend that class reunions are coming down. They're coming down in groups.
Correct.
75, 80,
Correct.
Ricky talking about 81. Those are the beginning to be the core groups of the reunion. That's the first groups that fill up the hotel reservations. They're
Nice.
the first one that buy their train tickets and they're into golf and they're doing this and they're doing that. They're the first ones, and then the other reunioners come and fill in the
Sure.
gaps.
Right.
So
Like the class of '88.
like the class of '88,
Yeah.
filling in a beautiful gap. There, Juan Thompson, man, hey, the Murga was good that night.
Oh yeah, I saw some videos. I thought did look very good,
That
guys.
Murga, I had my calf muscles. I had cramps in my calf muscles because I was jumping around so much. I hadn't done that
Nice.
since I was like 18.
Nice.
And my drummer, who's a super excellent drummer, he pulls me over and said, "Man, that guy on the redoblante, on the snare, is blowing this place up. Everybody felt this energy, man.
Right, right. You feel the music.
The Murga is something else."
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, Cassie says you need more days. What's so right now it starts Wednesday night and then it officially ends on Sunday.
Yes,
That's
Which
a long
I mean
time.
that's kind of what the Canals on reunion is as well. But
exactly.
but the difference is I think the Canals on reunion it's about the people, certainly almost 100% about the people, because you're at a hotel here in the United States, so it's not like, oh my God, I can't believe we're at this hotel, right? It's hey, good to see you. But in Panama, you have the component of all the activities, which are
Yes.
all flashback memory activities. You're doing a canal cruise, you're doing a rail, cruise, you're going to visit BHS. All of that's part of the event as well that you don't get, with the reunion up here. So
Yeah.
I can see where people could clamor for more. Whereas in Orlando, listen, Wednesday by Sunday, you're like, puta, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm
I'm
ready to
out.
go home.
No, it's true, and you can only fit so much into the days. We had a couple of activities that were parallel, like the golf tournament. The golf tournament filled up,
Mm,
and the train filled up. We had both of them at the same time, and people were saying, "Well, I love the golf, but I can't. I got to go on that train."
right. That's what I
And then,
would do. I love the golf, but I would certainly not golf in lieu of the train.
right. So that was a little thing we got to look at. Like, can we do separate days? Of course, we are at the beck and call of Panama Canal Railway. They tell us this
Correct.
is when you get it. That's why I had to change the train from 7:30 to 9, not because us. They just said, "Oh, by the way, it leaves at 9." And I'm like, "Damn, everybody thinks it's 7:30." And we tried to get the word out, but so you could add more days, Cassie. That could kind of help with the overlap. But what we're thinking is, hey, you didn't do the train this year? because you wanted to golf. Next year you can do the train.
There you go. Now you got a reason to go.
Yeah. You know, the
Yep.
cruises, people said I loved the cruise, but I wish I would have done the transit too. So you got to come back again. You like to leave that little thing hanging. You know what was cool though? Something that we never thought about, which is obvious right in your face, Ricky Royo, in your big batiras face. People said, I come to the reunion and I get to talk to the reception in Spanish. I get to practice my Spanish. Or I get to walk out of the hotel and get a raspado. The guy's right out in front. You know, things that are not on the program. They're not on the event calendar.
Right.
But you get into an Uber and you go down to the causeway and you're chit-chatting with the Uber guy in your broken Spanish and practicing. And it's like, man, this is the greatest thing. So those kind of little experiences, Willie, your class of 86 is going to light up with those little things.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because it is. That's part of growing up in Panama. Was those little things, lunchtime at BHS, you hear the little bell, the raspao guys coming by, and you run out and grab that out at the end of the 600 building. You're across the street there by the shop. That kind of stuff. You can bring that memory back to your point there, and it's nice to do those things and see where it's gone and how things have changed. One question somebody had previously, and I said I would bring it up to you, was the Balboa High School reunion. It was Steve Ranson. He used to be one of our teachers. He was asking if the Balboa High School reunion, do you just go to the library and see that, or do you walk around the whole place? Because I think I did see some people even down by the
No. That's a must for you guys.
Okay.
You don't just go to the library and walk around. They take you down the hall. I think that was it, the 100s, the 200s.
Yeah.
Is
Or the
kind
main
of like
building.
a little. Pardon?
That was the main building.
Yeah,
Was
main
the one-
building and 100s was
Yeah,
first floor.
the
200s
were underneath, right? The 100s were underneath.
Yeah, first floor. Well, the
First floor, the
200s, they
basement.
turned it into kind of like a mini museum where you walk down and you look at the displays
Okay.
on the walls. There's ship models. There's famous, I don't know if you could say celebrities of Panama Canal history.
Sure.
You can go into the library and it's exactly the same. You could probably find your
Wow.
name carved upstairs in the wood.
I need to
Willie,
take a book back there and maybe they'll waive the fine on it because it's been a long time, but I still have it.
they're gonna lock you up is what's gonna happen.
I mean, I'll probably even know this. There'll probably even be a space. So I'll put the book back in and won't even say anything. Just walk away tranquilo. What's your name?
It's
Ricky
worth it.
Royo.
That is worth it. That is worth it. Now, some class of 91, class of 90 people went to the Corundu Junior High. Shoot, am I getting my story right? So one of those classes went to the junior high, which is the University of Panama. Now,
Yes, that's right.
they walked in like it was their house, and it was cool, but they said no pictures. So everybody's doing their thing, and Corinna Junior High School hasn't changed at all either. That's worth going to see too with class of '86. But somebody started taking pictures, and they were on them like stink on. They were on them quick, out, pa fuera.
Wow. What is it? Run by the Chinese?
Yeah, no, they're like, what is this? The CIA? This is CIA? What is this? This is a
I know, right?
university, man.
Wow.
Is it-
Right, with
So,
everything going on, right? Of course, yes.
I think you got to just get ahead of the game and call them and say, hey, we're coming down.
Correct.
We're going to bring a bus. But that would be really cool because the cafeteria or the cafetorium, igualito. A
Wow.
building, igualito. The place, remember where in gym class you'd hang out like in between in ABC building, you'd hang out in that little area
Yes.
and wait, go
It
down
was
the
like a big
steps.
courtyard before we went
Yes.
downstairs. Yeah.
That's igualito.
That's cool because that's one thing I will say in all honesty, and this is something that I find a little depressing. When I see a lot of the pictures, is like, wow, that's not the Canal Zone I saw before, and that's neither here nor there. But it's good to hear that something like that has remained intact and looked the same way, and just for the sake of going back to see something the way it was when I was there.
Yeah, there's Mark Cicero. Those are my neighbor's Cicero family in La Boca. You got to come down, Mark. It's worth it.
So I don't know if you guys have heard. Mark Cicero put out a song called "Panama Days." Well, obviously, Alex, you know of it.
I hadn't heard of it.
Okay. Oh, you haven't? Okay. Really, really well done. I'm helping him working on putting together a video. Mark, I got a little sidetracked, so I'm not quite done with it. I was hoping to have it done to show it on here, but really, really awesome song. Really well done. It's got It's got a bit of a Santana riff to it. It's got a little, salsa beat to it and everything. Really,
Nice.
really awesome song called Panama Days. Check it out, guys. If you go on Facebook, obviously go to Mark Cicero's page, or I'll actually post it on the SCN Canal Zone page, so you guys can check it out there.
Sure.
But just a really, really cool song. And then I also heard that I think Mark Owens was working with you on a song, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we already produced it. It still hasn't gone public, but it's a really nostalgic song that
It
Mark
is.
wrote. He's a very talented songwriter. He'll tell you he's not, but that guy struck some chords, man. And and like you said, it's an Atlantic side military
Yes,
brat point of view, and
correct.
he hits it, nails it on the head, man.
Yeah, and I thought, if we get that Atlantic side theme, which he's going to help us jump on and start giving us some Atlantic side coverage, he might work that in and be the song for that. That'll be the official song for that segment.
Absolutely,
Because
Make the
absolutely.
opening.
it is really geared towards the Atlantic side. But again, guys, check these guys out. I'm not sure if Mark's song has been released yet. I did hear part of it myself, but him and I were chatting last weekend about some Atlantic side coverage, and he did mention that you helped him put that together. So right on it, makes sense, with
Yeah,
your talent. But check out Mark's song. You'll like it, man. It's really, really well done.
I think I'd like to mention also that Atlantic. We need a more Atlantic side representation in the
Yes,
Canal Zone reunion.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
I know that part of it, and I can understand why. Part of it is that the Atlantic side's changed a lot more than the Pacific side
Okay.
in deterioration,
Yes.
and that's hard to see. But there's still a lot of really cool places, Costa Arriba, Costa Abajo. And I was filming the other day at Cristobal High School, because we have a project there, and that building is exactly the same. And who knows?
Oh
Maybe
wow.
I could get some people. You can actually go in there. It's open to the public. You don't have to pass through security or anything that side. So a tour there would be cool. Coco Solo is, like we say in the song, Coco Solo is sinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Coco Solo is not so cool, but Margarita is the same. You got Skipper Burger out there; he'll tell you. Gatun, you can't even get to it. Gatun Island, we call it now.
Wow. Why?
Well, you got the old set of locks here. You got the
Oh,
new set
that's
of locks
right.
here, and Gatun Town is right in the middle. You know,
Yes.
we did a actually I should talk about that. We did a documentary about Coach Vince Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Vince. Remember Vince and Shorty at Balboa Pool? Well, he got started in Gatun Pool, or no, his second job was in Gatun Pool. So we called Panama Canal like a health and wellness, and asked them
Okay.
permission to get to the gym, and we had to cross the locks. And I hadn't done that since the new locks opened, and that was really really cool. The gates float out straight. They don't do this.
Right. Right. They go inside the lock chamber.
Yeah, they like tuck away in there. So we went across there and we drove through the ghost town, bro. But the town is painted perfectly. Everything is, the curbs are clean, the grass is cut.
There's
It's
nobody there.
a living museum, Ricky. You would probably have a good time over there because of the architecture, but it's a museum, pristine. And then we went to the pool.
Hmm.
Of course, the pool was cracked during the when they're doing the rock blasting, so all the water went out, so the pool's dead. But Gatun Island, man, that would be a really cool place to go for Atlantic Siders, and I think you can get permission to do that. So more Atlantic Siders, you guys got to come down, man.
Yeah, certainly, certainly. Start promoting that more. And again, if we get these guys on and start having more, Atlantic side content, maybe start getting more involvement, and obviously throughout the year we'll have you on just to keep promoting and building up the reunion for next year, because it's
Sure.
not something that starts in October. Yeah, that stuff is something that's you know year long worked out. There's a lot
All
going
year,
on.
yeah. You know,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, Ricky.
Alex, how about like the numbers? How many people went there this year compared to last year? Do you
And
guys have those numbers yet?
last year we had 230
Wow. Okay.
inscritos. How do you say that?
Yes. Yeah.
Registered guests.
Registered guests.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This year we had 375 registered guests,
Right on.
But in reality, there was probably like 450 cruising through the hotel.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
we had the wristband area where you could go in and get food. There was a rum bar. You could get to the pool, and then the non-wristband area, which was the lobby bar and the vendor room and the showcases.
Right.
So a
Yeah.
little bit of an increase, but the thing is that you see it at the yacht club party at night. There was a lot of people there, but it was like the
Right.
younger. It was like I'm saying 65 and under
Okay.
was at the.
All right.
Don't
No,
ever confuse me with Stevie Joyce. I think that's a compliment, actually.
yeah. So, but here's the funny thing is nobody else heard that but
That
us
was-
in the studio. But he was asking if that was Stevie Joyce, somebody in the background. No, not Stevie Joyce at all. But who we have here with us is none other than Richard Grimace in class of
Right
'80,
on.
representing, joining us to talk about their reunion experiences. Oh, welcome, Richard. Better late than never, right?
Sorry, man. Sorry.
No,
You're
you're
a
good. You're
Zonian. It's
good. You're good.
expected. You know, when he
No.
goes, what time? I should have said 6:30. And you go, okay, cool. Then he'll be here about 8:30 or something. So no,
Actually,
it's
I
all.
was at an 80th birthday party
Oh, cool.
uh,
Okay, well that's we can
for
we'll let you.
for Bill Hoff. So
Okay,
that's
well
why I was late.
you have a legit excuse then. So welcome anyway. Welcome Friday night. Salute. Good to have you on here with the rest of the gang here. And we're just getting started talking about the reunion. What a great time it was. All the good stuff there. So give us your version of it. Your class of '80. What you guys were doing there, and what your thoughts were on it.
Well, first and foremost, what do I do to get rid of this echo? Can you guys hear the echo?
No, we don't hear it. You
Okay.
might want to put headphones on.
Okay. Let me. I'm a
tell
little bit
tell Diana
technologically
to turn off her phone.
There
so.
you go.
Kudos to Alex and the team, the Canal Reunion Association. Amazing job.
Right.
Wonderful reunion. Gets better every year. Can't say enough about how well organized they were, about how they're responding to feedback and just trying to make things better. So fantastic job.
Thank you,
And
Richard.
yeah, and then our group, we did three things kind of peeled off on our own. One was a dinner at a place called Sabroso's Panama at the end of the causeway.
Okay.
And that was super fun. Folkloric show, uh, really high energy. They had the mood guy and all the uh, we let them know that the Balboa High School class of 1980 was in the house, and they ran with that. And
Nice.
they said I told them we're Panagringos, and he said, no, you guys are full Panamanians. And that was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Right on.
That's
Very
pretty
welcoming.
cool.
Heck yeah.
We did the tour of the Balboa High School, and basically all it was is we got permission to go and up to the library level and the hallway outside the library with all of the memorabilia that's out there, and walk
Sure.
through some of the breezeways. So that was cool. Walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
Classes of 85 and 90 did the same along with us. And then we did our own boat ride out to Tobago on Sunday on the Cheers. I don't know if that's the formerly Barclay Hayes's boat.
That's the MWR boat.
Okay.
Yeah, is that where that? Yeah, that's got a lot of history. That boat has a lot of history. And so it was great.
MWR.
We had a
That's
great
hilarious.
time, but like I said, fantastic job, Canal reunion. You guys knocked it out
Right
of the
on.
park.
Right on.
Nice. So, Richard, how many people would you say you guys had from the class of '80?
I think we had about 35 or so.
Okay.
Wow.
Right on.
Not everybody
Huge.
did, and not including spouses.
Yeah.
Not
It's a
everybody did
commitment to
every
travel there.
activity, but a few people kind of just roamed around on their own, and some of us did everything. So
How much? How much did your plane ticket cost? Because Will Benninghoff keeps saying, "Well, it costs so much to go to." How much was your plane ticket, Richard? For reals?
well, I paid for business class. So
Ah, no. It's
Ay, a
our
la
age. It's our age. I understand that. I
Hey!
totally understand that.
I think it's like $400.
Okay.
For $600 maybe. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
no, it is. It is. You're right. I think it's more a mental thing and you're right. I gotta quit saying that because
Fake news, man. Fake news.
yeah, it is fake news. Exactly.
It was a great
Oh,
group, though. I mean, what
Uh,
really cool group of people there. They ran the gamut for the age groups, and a lot of fun seeing people from back in the day, multiple generations. Diana, of course, she's class of '89. She was with her group. Our group was there. A lot of my family members came:
Yeah.
Patrick, Christina, Rebecca, Eric, his wife Rachel's class of '90. So it was a lot of fun, multi
Yeah.
generational, and really good time.
Okay. And now, getting from the airport, getting over there. We talked about it when you were on, Alex, before the reunion. But any issues there? Anything that even folks in the audience here in the chat. What's the best way to do to get yourself to Amador when you arrive in Panama? Because obviously you don't want to. I don't think anybody wants to rent a car. That's for sure. But
Well, I rent a car, but
yeah, of course, of
no,
course you
I've
would.
I've been coming back to
Uh-huh.
Panama every year, so I've kept up with
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But I have to say, car rental prices down there are very reasonable. And at this stage of the game, I buy full insurance
Yeah. Of
because
course.
you're guaranteed to have some kind of. And even with that, it's pretty reasonable. But
Okay.
as I told all my classmates for the planning, I said Uber in Panama is safe, reliable, and extremely reasonable. So you
Good.
can't go wrong with Uber.
Okay. And easy to get at the airport too, I
Oh
imagine.
yeah, very
Okay.
easy. And then we also got names of drivers from the locals in our class that live down
Yeah.
there. I said, hey, give me a list of names of drivers that you guys use, and we
Right.
put that out in an email to our class.
Oh,
And
very
some
good.
of them use those drivers that were recommended by the classmates.
Cool. There we go. Class of '86. Keep that in mind. Let's start compiling that list of drivers if we need some. And yeah, right
Yeah.
on. That's a good idea. Heck yeah. So, all in all, then, Richard, with your class of '80, there you had 35 people. How long did it take to get your everybody put together, and when did you guys start planning it for your class to get together there?
We started pretty early on after last year, but we really didn't get our act together. The one thing I would recommend to other classes is try to figure out if you're going to do a class event. Like we chose Friday night, but by the time we figured out that's what we were going to do, the Canal Zone reunion, being so well organized and ahead of the game, already was putting out all their stuff. So we did have a little bit of an issue. It was like, whoa, time out, guys. Save
Yeah.
Friday night. And some of the people had already jumped on it because those spots go quick for the
Sure.
Chiva Paranderas and the Moonlight Cruises and all the offerings that the Canal Zone region puts out there.
Yeah,
So the
I would
earlier that you can
say,
figure out, at the very least, just say Friday night for a class dinner.
yeah,
And then if you give your class a heads up like that, just leave that block open, then you'll be good.
yeah.
Okay.
I was
Cool.
going to say the same thing, Richard. Save it for Friday. If you want to maybe try to miss a little bit of the Friday traffic, because people forget how to be normal on Fridays in Panama. So
Okay.
you maybe a Thursday night dinner would be cool. Also,
Yes.
You're
Okay.
you're competing with the Elks. That's our Elks Club party and live
Yes.
music. So
But
Yeah.
that would be good. A Thursday night dinner would be also a good
Or even an
option.
earlier dinner, and then go to the Elks after that.
yes,
Yep. Yep.
That's
yeah,
doable
There's
to fit in
definitely options. You just got to figure it out early enough so that people can
before
jump
those
on all
damn
those other
Canals on
great
reunion people book
activities.
everything up. Right?
hey,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
should have
Well, that's
seen you should have seen lunchtime on Thursday at Napoli. Were you there, Richard?
No, I got in on Thursday. I was very tightly limited this time. I only made it down for 4 days because of work.
Okay,
So I would have liked to come down for longer, but I just couldn't swing it this time.
I thought
okay.
you were like the owner of the shipping company up there and all that stuff. Don't you own the ports up there and all that? Aren't you like the Hutchinson Wampoa of the East Coast? No,
Yeah,
Don't
that's pretty
investigate
cool,
my
man.
connections.
Yeah, no, exactly. We don't know where that money went. Nobody wants to know. I'm gonna look the other way.
Lee Morton
No,
has a good point. The room rates were $85 a night and included a Panamanian breakfast, which was
jeez, that's
phenomenal.
incredible, man.
And you could
That's
get, I think
that's what you get a meal for in Orlando.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. The
And
the
even
the
people who didn't book with the rate, it was still $100 a night. I mean,
yeah,
Okay.
being right there at the Pacific entrance to the canal, What a great, initially I was thinking, this thing's getting so big, these guys are going to have to move to another hotel. But I have to say, the longer you guys can stick with that hotel, and if you can get them to give you 80% of the rooms, you want to stick with that hotel. The
Right
location,
on. Thank you,
the
Richard. Yeah,
price, and the breakfast. I mean, you can't beat it.
yeah. The
Right
pool was
on.
there. The canal side rooms were $95. Ooh.
Ooh.
And well, actually,
Tim.
Richard, and I'll let you guys know here today. Well, right on Monday, I called the manager of the hotel. I said, "We need to meet. We want the whole thing, 3 years."
Yes.
So I went with him today. I probably jumping the gun because I haven't met with the board of directors, but it's not the first time I've gone out on a limb without talking to them. And we got the hotel
You
for
make things
next year. There's another group there that comes every year. They have 40 rooms, but the rest of the rooms are Canal Zone Reunion, 175 rooms. So we're going to start this year. We had 100 rooms. We'll go to 175.
Yeah.
Willie, I will let you know when they go live because you got to have all your class there.
Yes.
That's part of the thing.
Yeah. And I think you guys did that for all the classes this year, Alex. If I'm not mistaken, you gave us a heads up, 80,
Yep.
85, 90, and you gave us a couple days head start, I think, on getting the
Yeah.
very good.
blocks.
That was because, like I was telling these guys before you got on, Richard, the Zonians make the reunion, and if you're all together and you don't have to do logistics,
Right.
Right. Right.
and then you don't get Ricky Royo's what is it, Lamo or El Fobo Phoebe, what is it? Fear of being left out.
Fear of missing
FOMO.
out.
Well, both of you guys are due for next year for your class, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
you
Yeah.
at,
we're
Ricky?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's perfect because obviously we're going to have to accommodate something there for the show is going to have to be broadcast live from the reunion. So we have to
Ooh,
figure something out, right? Because it is, 8
you're
p.m.
together.
Friday
Definitely.
night, so
Hey,
that'll,
Alex, how about the jam session? How did that end up? The Friday night jam session that you had all the musicians.
The jam session was contingent on me finding Canal Zonian musicians, and I found 8.
okay.
3 of them were traveling, so it ended up being like 5 of us. The cool thing about it though was I asked the Chiva bus, the guy coordinating the Chiva bus, Pablo Prieto and Alan. I said, make sure the Chiva stops there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the Chiva stopped there, and Fred Bales was on bass. A guy named Aaron Talley, who's married to Linda Dahlstrom, was on singing.
Okay.
I was playing the ukulele, just dinking around. There's a guy from Diablo named David Cabal,
Linda
which, by the
Husted.
way, the what? It was.
Linda Husted.
What did I say?
Dahlstrom.
Oh shit, dog! Is this
Yeah.
recorded?
I was wondering. I was like, all right, maybe I'm not sure here, but
You can edit that, right?
oh yeah,
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's Sonia. We know who you're talking
we'll
about.
blame it on the
Dale, dale,
reunion.
dale.
That's some reunion hangover there.
Well, they were jamming out. They were just jamming out, and the locals that were there were like, "Where'd these guys come from?"
And what, rock and roll or
Oh yeah,
or
no,
calypso?
blues.
Blues, good.
The leader of the band is Fred Bales, and that's period. That's hands down. When Fred Bales walks on the stage, everybody looks and watches.
Yeah, yeah,
And
for
he's
sure,
calling
for
it
sure.
out. He's casting the drummer for a little bit more or a little bit less. And
I love it.
So it was really fun.
Right on,
I think
coach.
we
I
need
hope
we
he's
need to
down to
do
next year then.
we definitely need to do a better word of getting the word out. But I asked John Kiko Carney to come, but he had a gig in the morning. He was playing at Austin Mama's train station for Zonian, so he couldn't come. Jorge Blois and Gorgons had a gig in Magoo's, so he couldn't come. So there's 2 people out. Shorty was out to dinner with his wife. Jason Berger, who's the head man of Big Fat Hen and Polyphase and a band that came along in the 90s. He's up in the States. So I ran out of Zonian musicians, but there's some young guys that they're Zonians because they're born in Diablo, 2008, born in Diablo. I said, man,
Good
you're a
enough.
Zonian.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's the one that
Yeah,
owns
yeah.
the bar. So it was fun. It was fun. Teatro
If he
Escondido
owns
was
a bar,
fun.
then he's definitely a Zonian. So we'll
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah, and
go
then
with that.
talk to us a little bit about the Elks Club, the Thursday night party.
The Elks Club was wall to wall.
Yeah, I saw that.
There was wall to wall, and the band that was there, which was the great blues wagon, Stanley Wright, who's a Zonian. They said that they turned up and they couldn't hear themselves, and they kept turning up and they kept turning up, and they finally said, "You know what? We can't get over the top of these Zonians
That's right.
talking
That's
to each
right.
other."
Talking. Yeah.
Come
So,
on now.
so they just backed out, and the place was jam packed. You know, the restaurant, what used to be the Marco Polo when we were kids, and they had
Yeah.
a bunch
Yeah.
of names. That was packed. The Elks Club in the back, the actual club, they took all the tables out to make more
I
space.
saw that.
So it was just, and then they had this ticket system, you know, like Clayton Fair, where you bought your tickets and then you went to the beer stand.
Correct.
Yeah. 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 Right.
So there was no change or waiting. It was just like taka ta taka ta
Right.
taka ta taka ta. I heard they ran out of beer, Alan Deco, but I'm not sure. I heard they ran out
That's
of beer.
typical of
You got a bunch of
reunion
Zonians. What do you
parties.
expect?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical
Exactly. Yeah, what do you
reunion
expect?
parties. The
But
booze run out.
The Elks Club was a great way to like build up, you know.
Yeah.
It was building up. People were arriving. Like Richard got there that night. They had the Chiva Parrandera that left there. I don't know how many people were that we actually sold tickets for the Chiva, but there were too many people on that Chiva.
More than the tickets, huh? Se colaron.
Well, that's the Zonian way too,
Again,
bro.
yeah. I mean, it's all part of the Zodiac experience, man.
You
You
can't
don't have
stop
somebody
that.
pulling the swift one. Yeah,
You can't
exactly.
stop that.
It wouldn't be a
So,
Zodian without it.
but you know, you guys should really talk to Richard and even Class of '90. They had some really cool things on the side.
Yeah.
You know, on the side. I think what I would recommend is we teamed up with a company called Go Touri,
Okay.
and they will set up your tour. You pull it's an app.
Okay.
You pull up and you say, I want to do a coffee tour in Costco Viejo. Bloop, and you click it. One. And you just order online. It's like ordering food or something. Tuk, 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 and you set up
Yeah.
these tours. And they're really reasonable. They're safe. They got good reviews. So we're going to do a better job. I'll send that to you, Willie, and to you, Ricky, so you can, if you're going to set up a tour, it's sometimes daunting because you don't know what you're getting.
Of course. Of course.
And a lot of times the tours here are a WhatsApp. You WhatsApp this guy and he'll set you up with a tour. And then you got to
Right.
send a guy a money on WhatsApp. You have no idea who that is.
Gone. Yep.
You know?
Well, and Juan Thompson's on here chiming in as well. He does some tours as well.
He
That's
does.
something you want to reach out ahead of time. Set something with Juan. I'm sure I'm going to help Juan put together some marketing stuff here, which will be ready for next year anyway. So if somebody wants to do something on the side, reach out. He's got some really cool packages and stuff
Sure.
as well. He does a great job of showing it, and he's a Zonian, man. So it's certainly someone of confianza.
Definitely. There's a Teresa Harp. Teresa Harp has another one called New Leaf, and
Okay.
she does tours, boutique tours. But when you have a group of 30 people in your class plus spouses, you gotta organize just a little bit more, and you only need like one or two excursions. You know, you don't have to. The rest, the Canal Zone reunion has a lot of things to offer too. But if
Yeah.
you can get one or two outside, some people, you know what they were doing? They were just renting a bus, like a mini bus, 12 passenger bus, and going to see their old town sites.
Just drive around together.
That's it. Just drive it.
That's cool. Nice and
even-
relaxing.
Even Uber drivers, you get in, you say, I'm going here, but stop here, stop here, stop here. Here's a 20. I want to see
Right.
my old house. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no,
Richard's
that's awesome.
phone.
Yeah, Richard's phone died. He has to wake up early, so he's signing off again. Yeah, listen, it's tough when you own the ports on the east coast of Florida. You got to do all
Yeah.
that shit, even on weekends, So
I-
I know.
Richard, I was
port
actually
captain.
honored to be on the same screen with you
Right.
the first time in my life. So I'm glad at least I got that 5 minutes, man.
Listen. That's what
Richard.
that's what this show does, man. It elevates everybody, man. It elevates everybody's profile here in the zone. So we're happy to do that. Happy to do that. No, listen. All kidding aside, Richard, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your insight on what you guys did, and we'll definitely pick your brains. And if you guys want to do anything with your class of '80 on the show, by all means, you always have an open invitation. So appreciate
Right
you
on.
joining us, Richard. Have
Yeah.
a great weekend, dude, and enjoy working tomorrow on a Saturday. No, but anyway.
They made the reunion. Hey, Willie,
Yeah.
and Ricky, I gotta mention our charities. The Canal Zone
Yes,
Reunion
please do.
Yes, please.
It's a nonprofit organization, and everything that we make goes to our three charities. What the heck? Where'd that come from? Dang.
Viste, we're
SCN
ready.
Canal Zone, Papa. Come on now.
Come on. This is
Look at
show
this guy.
50.
You, SCN.
Uh-huh.
There
I
you
think
go.
we're on show 50 now, guys. So we're kind of like, experts.
We're figuring some shit out, right?
You got some. That looks tight. There they are. There they are. Gorgas Oncológico, which 90% of us are born in Gorgas. So to
Right.
be able to give back to those cancer patients in there, I told a story the last time I was on about the supplies that we give them and how happy they are to be able to get surgical kits and
Yeah. Dude,
syringes.
I'm sure my DNA is still in that hospital somewhere, the amount of times I was in that ER.
Your
It's there
DNA.
somewhere.
The Hogar Divino Niño is an orphanage for
Nice.
underprivileged kids or kids that their parents just abandoned them. That's in
Mhm.
Los Rios. And then on the
Wow,
Atlantic
really?
side, in Los Rios, yeah. And they took one of those 4 families in Los Rios and turned it into an orphanage.
Oh, wonderful.
Um, Clamor de Corazon is a home for extreme risk kids. These are kids that are born with really, really intense birth defects.
Okay.
So some of them have a lifespan of 12, 15 years, but that's in Gulick, in Colón. So
Okay.
we wanted to get that Cologne side, thanks to Ross
Sure.
Beitel, thanks
Beautiful, man.
to I think we have another Marjorie Egger is also on our committee. So we had a couple of Zonians in there, but
Check
that,
out Lee, Gorgas class of 63.
there you go. One
That's
of
one
the
way of putting
coolest
it.
things we did was we invited them to send anyone that they wanted on the train
On the
or
train, I saw that. I saw that. That was awesome.
and there was like some little kids in there that were they didn't even talk. They were in the train and the train's just
What a great
super silent.
experience. What
A
an
great
easy way to
experience.
make somebody's day.
Oh yeah, it was like a Make a Wish Foundation, but Zonian
Correct.
style.
Yes.
The
Right.
people were very happy that they got on first class treatment. They had the red carpet treatment on the transit. Also, they did the southbound transit. So we're in the process now of doing our accounting, and we're gonna do those donations. We donate in the form of products, not cash. Something to keep in
To
mind if
use.
yes, things that they need. We actually asked them all for a shopping list and where they buy that stuff. So we
Okay.
don't have to reinvent the wheel. And then we just go there and pay for it. Highly recommend you don't give cash to any foundation in Panama or anywhere because you don't know where it goes.
Correct.
You don't
Correct.
know where it goes.
Administrative fees.
Yeah, right,
$100, they get $12, and the other 80 something dollars for administrative fees.
right. Goes to the
Yeah.
jet ski.
Yeah.
So
And Alex, how did the weather treat you guys during this time of the year? At the reunion?
beautiful, beautiful.
A lot
It
of
was
wind.
raining and muggy till like actually tree burn was the weekend before. It poured rain on the day of the tree burn.
Imagine that.
Should not be happening. This is dry
Right.
season. This is verano as we call it, summertime.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Since late
Um,
November.
today it rained, but actually it rained this week like 3 times. But during those 5 days of reunion, nada, sun
Nice.
and breeze.
That's
Gracias,
the beauty
Papalillo.
right there.
Right on.
January is
Sun and
always the
breeze,
best
yeah.
weather down there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Good.
really
Good.
smart.
Good.
Yeah, that's a good question though. People ask, why are you doing the reunion in January? That my kids are in school. I just took Christmas off. I can't get down there. And we say, that's when the water gets cold. That's when the sun, when the rain stops and you get these north winds that are just consistent. It's fresh, it's breezy. We didn't want to do it in July because we didn't want to cross with the Orlando
Of
reunion.
course.
We
Of
have to
course.
we're
And
complementing
that's high
each other.
season for travel anyway. It makes it worse for people.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Fourth of
prices
July is
also go up.
difficult.
Prices drop in January. That's why Richard's getting tickets for $400, $500
Right.
because prices drop after New Year and they go up for Carnival.
Correct.
There's a little sweet spot in there. Even Jazz Festival is starting to draw a lot of people and the tickets go up. But we get that little sweet spot we call it between Jazz Festival and Carnival.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
sweet-
Jerry does the same strategy. That's why their Ocean to Ocean is the same week as you guys.
Oh, yeah. With the motocross. Yeah.
The
Correct.
motocross.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing that. And then I think it's next week is the Coronado Big Golf Tournament. Which
Yes,
goes
a
on.
lot of the guys are still at the hotel. When I was there yesterday, I had lunch with Carl Orvis. These guys are all heading up. They tee off tomorrow.
So it's the following weekend.
No, it's this weekend.
That's what I mean. The weekend after the reunion is the golf tournament.
Yes, yes.
And is
Just
that
like
always the same way?
it's been like that for 2 years. Our
Okay.
first year, the first 2 years, it happened before.
Yeah.
It's just coincidence.
Well, because Mitchie and I were talking about it the other night about doing that and actually spending like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks down there, get there a day or two before the reunion and leave a day or two after the golf tournament, you know. And that way,
Well,
the middle in between the two gives me time to visit family and all that kind of stuff, and then go to Coronado and
exactly,
you know,
exactly. You come down for 2 weeks, Ricky. You do reunion for 4 days, but the rest
yeah,
of the time you're visiting family or doing things that
Correct.
you want to do,
yes,
maybe unwinding, um,
yeah, just relaxing,
just relaxing. Yeah,
and then
and
Yeah,
go and
my
hit the
both
golf
my
tournament.
brothers did that. Ray and
Yeah,
Reynaldo both did that. They went there the week before.
yeah,
yeah, I'd like
yeah.
to do that. You know,
The tree burn is a really great way to kick it off because it's kind of like a little reunion. And
yeah, yeah.
the
For
tree
some
burn
people that want to
always
do it the week
happens.
before, if they can do that one.
It always happens a week before because the trees don't last. After that, they're the
And
trees
on the
don't.
new Copa jets in the overhead bins, you can put trees in there too when you're flying down. So it's kind of cool, you know. You take your
You
own
bring
damn
your tree for this.
trees. No, but
Check
on
out
serious,
that.
there are opportunities though. So really, what you're talking about is there's a 3 week window of Canal Zone activities going on in Panama. You have a tree
Yes.
burn, the following weekend, the reunion, the following weekend is the golf tournament. So, it's one of these things, and we've talked about this before that, for some people this is going to become a regular occurrence, and truth is, like you say, it really isn't as expensive as we kind of think it is, but for a lot of people, this is just that one off every so often with your class. And if that's the
Yes.
case, then save up and make it a longer trip and spend some time doing a couple of these other activities as well. But, the centerpiece is, of course, the reunion, but there's a lot you can do afterwards, on the side where, if you get caught up in that 4 day hustle and bustle of this is what we're doing,
Yeah.
then now you have some time to unwind, do a little, feel like you vacation because
It, it,
I know the
it,
reunion here, when you get done with that, most people take Monday off just to
yeah.
recoup, because it's tiring,
The magic
That's
number to come
travel
to
day.
Panama is 2 weeks minimum.
Yes. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that.
Ricky, when was the
Yeah,
last
this
time you were home?
2022. So not that long ago.
Okay.
22 was the last time ago. Yeah. And also a couple other things happening with those 3 weeks. There's like Alex said, the jazz festival's happening, and then
Mhm.
Jerry's events also happening. So that's actually
Yeah.
True.
5 great events
And you know
in
what
that
else?
2 week period.
Mm.
The
Whose birthday?
the the Causeway Cayuco Regatta.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we missed
That's
that.
right.
Yeah, we never
That
talked
happened
about
on
that.
Saturday. That happened on Saturday, and we were telling our guests, "Hey, you paddle in the Cayuga race, go down to the pier. That's the starting line, the Balboa Yacht Club pier." But we waited too late to tell them, man. We needed to tell them a lot
Right.
earlier.
I
But
think I think maybe John Hewson posted some pictures of that, if I'm not mistaken, or somebody did. I
yeah,
saw some of, and they're like, "Look, there's a Cayuco race," and I
yeah,
was
Yeah,
like
we
thinking
never
maybe
we
it was
never
just some old
mentioned it.
pictures or something.
it was never
Yeah.
mentioned. It was never brought up.
Yeah.
Mirror
Mark Dillon
Dylan.
from
Okay.
the
Okay.
Dillon family.
Construct.
He's a very big part of that. Arnold Shan also, who are they're Zonians, but they're the starters, and that's pretty cool. Those are
Interesting.
tree burn, motorcycle race. All those are Canal Zone traditions. Those are
All
things
yes.
Right.
that we as Zonians started in Panama, and they're still
Correct.
going.
That's
Correct.
amazing.
You know,
Leaving that legacy.
all we're missing now is fast lich baseball.
Yes, which we got to talk about soon because we're getting into that baseball season. It's dry season. We've done football and talked a lot about Rams football, high school football, but baseball was big in the zone, and
Sure.
that was a blast.
Well,
Everybody from
well,
Pee Wee League up
football.
to
Listen, football's big as well. There's a little bochincha I want to mention real quick, just to throw this in, but it's because we're talking about football. Panama this year's, the next Olympics is going to have flag football as an event, and
correct.
Panama is well ranked in both boys and
Yes,
girls.
I
So they're
bet.
talking about this being the first opportunity for Panama to win a gold medal in team sport. We've won medals in individual sports, but never in team sport. And this is our
well, and
first
not just in
opportunity
not
with
just in
flag
football
football.
either. There's a here in the States, there's a Panama lacrosse team that I was doing some work with in the past, and I may try and kick that up again. But nonetheless, very promising because most of those guys are kids of Zonians. You know, they've been in school here in the States going in because, in a
Uh-huh.
lot of these international sports, there is that eligibility. If your parent is from, one of these countries, you're
All
actually
right.
eligible to play for them. Just like Don MacArthur's daughter played for the Panama soccer team,
Soccer
was a
team.
goalie, remember? And she certainly
Yep.
wasn't born in Panama because her mom was. She had that eligibility. So,
Hey,
that's
the Panamanian, the top soccer team's goalie is a blonde guy.
Oh
correct. The
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
currently is as
Yeah,
well. Yes.
Zonian too.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
JD Gunn. JD Gunn
Yes.
from
That's right. That's right.
Crossroads Church, the Gunn family.
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
He's in
can't
there.
wait for the World Cup coming in 2 years because Panama's looking really good. They got a good team, and still, I think the Mexico and U.S. teams aren't that strong. So Panama has a great shot of making that World Cup, and it's going to be here in the States the majority of those games. So hopefully, it'll be a good time for us to travel and get together and get a bunch of Zonians to go support the Panama
Yeah,
team.
wear your red shirts, your Marea
Yeah, heck
Roja.
yeah, La Marea
Yeah,
Roja, indeed, that would be a lot of fun, man.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
pero
hey,
yeah,
another aspect of the reunion besides our charities is the educational side of things.
Oh yeah, I
And
saw that. Talk about that. Yes.
yeah, we're really promoting more educational opportunities, learning opportunities. And this year we had a showcase called "I was born and raised in Canal Zone, and I never knew that." Dot dot dot.
blank. Yeah.
So I want to give kudos to our presenters. There are people that I've known through working down here, and we had a guy talking about architecture of the Canal Zone, and Reynaldo was there, and he was just glued to the guy.
Of course.
He had a packed house. He does these before and after pictures, but not just a picture. He explains what the building was when it was first built and what it is now, and he goes through the whole history of it. It's
Who
really
was the guy that was doing that?
that was Juan
Posada?
Posada. He just
Yeah,
popped in
Juan
here.
Oh,
Posada.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Juan
That's
Posada.
right. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
we
'Cause he
mentioned
does
him a
that
lot on this
Panama
show.
before and after.
He's super. We had another
Yeah,
guy
he-
that did a talk on coastal artilleries.
Oh, right
Mm.
on.
And we all know the batteries that are sitting out on Naos and on Flamenco.
Yeah.
This
Correct.
guy got into the numbers of the guns, how they got them out there, how far they could shoot. There's one gun that would tuck away, it would shoot and then would tuck away, then come up and shoot. All mechanical and all some of the very first computers, like punch card stuff, like jick, jick.
Sure. For trajectory.
Yeah, they would type in the thing, put the card in, jick, jick, and the gun would go jick, 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 jick.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
But
so
accurate.
he blew my mind.
That's cool.
That's on the architectural side. We had another fella that talked only about. He's from Smithsonian, and I thought we always knew the Smithsonian was here in Panama as we grew up, but we never
Right.
really knew what we do. Like our joke was, well,
No.
these guys are like CIA. There's some
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah. Correct. They were
there's something
quiet.
going on.
Weird.
But this guy, he had really cool information on why the water gets cold during dry season. I never knew.
El Nino, right?
El Nino and La Nina have something to do with it, but it does it every year. It has to do with
Why
the
is it?
north winds, and water temperature has to do with wind. I never knew that. So the winds are coming out of the north now, and they hit the Pacific and keep that one little pocket cool in the bay. Everything else is warm, but that one little
Isn't that
pocket is
amazing?
cool. So plankton come in there, and then I don't want to go into it here because it was super amazing, and I was like,
Sure.
this guy, and all the people there thought they were going to talk about fish.
Right.
But when they started to show graphs of how the water temperature is changing, he was great. His name is Andrew Sellers from the Smithsonian. We had a lady come in from Ciudad del Saber, which is Fort Clayton,
Yeah.
and she explained. She did a nice history of what Clayton was, and then she talked about what Clayton is now and where it's going. And that is very interesting for Zonians because the general fact is, well, the general idea is the canal zone's gone to pot, everything's run down,
Right.
and people came out of there going, wow, I might donate to that, So she was
Okay.
the hands down the biggest was the Vince Thomas and the Canal Zone pools and the Vince Thomas documentary that we did with him. That was packed out. People didn't want to leave. I had to kick him out because the other presenter was coming. We actually did a second showing, and I wanted to play this for you. This is Coach Vince. I was talking to him today. I hope you can hear this. This is Coach Vince. You remember Coach Vince had a really
Yeah, of
soft.
course.
I don't
Yes.
know where the microphone is on this bad boy, but I'm just gonna hold it up over here. Here you go.
Hey, cool. Lago, sounds like fun. Sounds like fun. So let's do it. Let's do it, Flaco. That was amazing. I mean, it was unbelievable. Hey, that's what we have to get when we're alive, not when we're dead. And I was proud of myself, proud of you guys, the work that you've done for making this be positive. That was so good. I really enjoyed it. I cried inside of joy.
Right on. That's
I really
beautiful,
loved
man.
it.
He
So that
he got
And he always has had a heart of gold, man. From the very first time you ever met that guy, a heart of gold.
heart of gold, $1 million smile. He walked
Yes.
in. He walked in and nobody recognized him.
Really?
Some people thought he was dead. They said, "This is so great that you've done this for Coach. You know, he would have loved him. Like he's standing right over there, man."
Wow.
Right on.
Yeah. And we had a little open session after that. Like who worked for Coach Vince? Hands in the air. And then people started telling anecdotes about Coach Vince once at a time. And
Yes.
we realized we have a legend in our midst, and that was
Right.
really neat. That was really neat. One of the cool things, the nature side of things. I love nature, you know. So we had the guy from Smithsonian. We had another guy come from. He has his own company called Biocultural Adventures. So he teaches you the culture of the people around, and then he does the biology of it. Very knowledgeable guy about the jungle. I call him Jungle Mark. His name is Mark Kanesh.
Right.
He had people glued. I was sitting in the back, and they were just like talking about numbers, you know, how much the oxygen footprint of Panama, how the oxygen footprint has gone down, the carbon dioxide footprint has come up, and they have all this research, and he's got it at the top of his head. He was super. Another naturalist that was there was a place called the Peregrine Foundation, and they brought these two oh, there's
Yes.
Coach right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to hear about the eagle. You had mentioned that a couple of weeks ago, Alex.
Two hawk eagles, and they were beautiful. They took
Yes.
your breath away. I went outside and I stopped talking. I just stared at them. They gave me some peace because, you know, the reunion is.
Yeah. 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 A
And
little
I
bit of
stared,
your-
I stared at this black hawk eagle, and it looked at me and it would go,
That's awesome.
super cool. You got Vince up there, huh?
Yeah, so this is Vince. This is a bit of that presentation that you guys were doing there. So for those of you that haven't seen this yet, but it's very moving because this is pretty awesome, especially the crowd participation. Because you know this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but a lot of this stems from that song you wrote about him. We swim because of him, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we
Hollywood,
wrote the
right.
song after this video. We're like, man, we got to do a song for this, for this documentary because it's too good.
yes. So here it is, guys. For those of you that haven't seen this yet, it's really cool.
I got my beanbag, that's all I want. It's not too late who worked for Coach Vince as a lifeguard? Look at that. That's amazing.
So there you are asking about who's worked for him.
And when it lightning and thundered and they closed the pool, he made the lifeguard scrub the locker room. No sleeping, no sleeping. You gotta be busy. Yes.
Can we sing the song, part of the song right now?
Can we sing this song?
Yeah.
Sure.
She's asking to sing the song.
Yeah.
Well, before I do that, before I make an idiot of myself, and we've decided to do a second showing at 3 o'clock. Because we have a gap. So please tell everybody in the Jamboree and your friends what you experienced in your own words and to come up here at 3 o'clock.
That's the producer, HB Tui there.
Let me say,
That's what I was just going to say. That's HB2 either, and he's the one that put this together for you, to help you put this together, right?
Yeah, he did the video editing.
Yeah, HB2 this guy is quite the talent down there. He's quite the thespian, quite the actor. He's got a lot of good stuff going on,
Oh, yeah.
and certainly helping out with this reunion as well, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
he was in that play 1903, which I would love to talk to him about.
Yeah, we got to get him on and talk about that. Maybe
Yes,
send us
you
some
got to get
snippets
him
of
on.
the clips, for
Very
sure.
particular case. If you ask any people in the Canal Zone, they wanna tell it straight to your face. Right up in your pocket, raspy. We swim, we swim, we swim cause of him.
We swim, we swim, cause of him. I love it, man. That's good stuff.
Basketball volley, Gamboa girls was out sunning. Bedford cheese ball crossed the pool deck and a coach scream out, "Hey, no running! Stay off the lane rope and no horseplay. This advice you must take. Freestyle like a chicken wing, butterfly motion like a snake. Call the governor, bring those children down. Learn to swim by watching him, Coach Vince, don't let you down.
Right on, Alex.
Good stuff, man. That was really impressive, man, and I bet that's got to be touching for him. That's
Oh,
Yeah.
you heard
he
the
is
message.
a legend of the Canal Zone. He is somebody that was a staple for so many of us there. That a big part of our childhood was awesome because of him and what he did for the
Yeah.
pools and everything.
And you know what? As we made this documentary, because David and I worked together, when we filmed it, we realized some of the crew knew people who were trained by Vince. One of them even said, "I was at a beach and somebody saved this person on the beach, and they were trained by Coach Vince." This is like 4 years ago. And then when we were trying to get into Gatun, I called the head of Bienestar, Salud y Bienestar. I said, "Hi, we're doing a documentary on pools and on Coach Vince Thomas." He said, "Who?" I said, "Vince Thomas." He said, "Ese man me enseñó a nadar." So
Wow,
even to
how
that
many
level,
lives he's touched?
yeah. And then he said, not only that, he taught my dad how to swim.
Wow, what a
So
legacy, man! What is that guy, about 150 years old?
no, he's only like 75.
That's
And
incredible.
and we realized that he's taught Sinaproc how to swim, Senan. He does special lessons for Senan. He does all the ACP employees at a certain time have to go through swim training. So
Right.
many of them went either through Shorty or through Vince. So if you took a poll of actual employees of the Panama Canal Commission or ACP, they would 50% of them would know Vince. So the story is a lot bigger
Sure
than
is.
we think it is.
The story didn't end with the Canal Zone.
It didn't. That's exactly what I was telling people. It didn't end in 2000. It kept going. So today, he's still giving lessons over at Los Rios Pool.
Wow, what an incredible story! That was so
Yeah.
cool to
So
watch, man.
that was the spirit of the showcases. There was other speakers there. There was a total of 12 speakers. So we definitely want to do that next year and get slightly bigger conference rooms. Not do them at the same time so people can actually go to each one of them. So yeah. Oh, Laura, we do have websites for those charities. You can find them at our Facebook page, canalzonereunion.com.
There you go. Canalzonereunion.com. Look it
No,
up
not
there.
canalzonereunion.com. Canal Zone Reunion, just Facebook. Sorry.
Oh, the
Oh,
Facebook
Facebook.
page. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Perfect.
Alex, what day did you have the talks at
Those were
during your reunion?
Saturday in the Jamboree.
Got it. So
So
Saturday
guys, go
afternoon.
right here. There it is on the site here, and I'm gonna put it in the chat as well.
Great.
So it's facebook.com/Canal Zone Reunion. Go bookmark it, visit them, and there you can see all that information. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah.
Put that in there.
Facebook, you have to kind of scroll a little bit to find stuff, but there's a couple of posts in there that give the links to our charities.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. I just threw it into the chat there, so it should show up on a chat on everybody on Facebook and on YouTube. And again, it's easy to remember, guys. Facebook.com Canal Zone Reunions. Okay, it's not that hard to remember anyway.
Mhm.
But nonetheless, go check them out. There's a lot of great charities there that these guys are supporting and that we're all supporting, right? And we're all going to do that. I'm going to just throw something out there for the class of 86. We'll maybe work on doing something as a fundraiser, maybe throughout the year, that maybe we can bring down a nice donation for your charity for next year. For as maybe a class of '86 gift or something. Something maybe to think about and throw together there. But anyhow, I think I was going to touch on something else. What was it? Somebody asked me to ask you something else. Check this out, guys. Coming next year, Al Sprague presentation during the showcase. Right, I saw parts of that this year. There was some people touring a lot of those locations. Really cool to see where Al Sprague has, to recognize. We like to take ownership of him as a Zonian, right? But this guy's a Panama treasure. And what he has in Panama, in the Republic of Panama, a lot of big collectors down there that have picked up on his art. It's he's a national Panama treasure. We're just lucky that he's a Zonian, so we get to kind of stake a claim there.
This Al Sprague represents what the Canal Zone reunion is. It's a mix. It's a blend. It's not all American culture. It's not all Panamanian culture. Al, what he did was he took American ideals and the love for Panama, and he painted Panamanian scenes like no Panamanian had ever done before. That's what the Canal Zone reunion. That's the identity that we have.
You foolish way of
Whopping boy, what you doing?
I was sleeping downstairs.
Live boy, what you
man. Oh, you
Shorty and him tonight live.
What happened to you, loco?
Look at that.
Yes.
He said, I'm not going. He said, you're going to go who? Talk to Willie Benninghoff and Ricky Royo? Yo voy para
allá. What's going on, Papa? How you doing?
Doing really good. Really good. We're downstairs talking about the old days, as always.
Yes. That's what we're talking here. We're talking for next year. We're getting ready.
Yeah, man.
Yes, we're going to have a good time next year. And Canal Zone Reunion 2026.
You coming down?
Time to work on that one.
You give me enough money, I'll come down.
Come down.
That's more than the $10 I got this time.
Start the Shorty and Slim GoFundMe.
Dave came down like a week before. Yeah, a week before. And then right after the reunion was over, boom, to El Valle, boom, to Boquete, boom. And he just got back last night.
He said I should have a GoFundMe. We like to say...
Hey, a lot of Zonians out there and Volcan.
Yeah, man. We like to say, go fund yourself.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Go fund yourself. We're going to write a couple songs tonight, so we got to head out.
That's cool. Well, listen. No, you're good. Listen, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate this. Like I said, we had a lot of class of 86 listening, and we got some great ideas from you guys on some suggestions. As soon as you can confirm dates and everything else, let us know, and we can start doing our thing on our end here to make it awesome, man.
Alex couldn't get a date 20 years ago. He can't give you a date now.
I got you a date right now, man. I couldn't get a real date.
Well, hey, whatever,
I couldn't even get girls to dance with me at the junior high dance.
That's because you were 6'3".
All right. Because slow down.
Willie, write it down. January 21st through 25th. Canal Zone Reunion 2026. January 21st through 26th. And that's our 5th anniversary.
There we go. Okay, it's official. I just threw it into the chat there. January 1st through 26th of 2026. Awesome.
21st through 25th.
25th. Okay. Well, we're gonna stay a day extra.
No, you're changing
people down to a day extra.
Yeah, but like we were saying before, you got to come a week before and stay a week after.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like I said, I'd like to do the golf tournament if possible. So I'd like to show up a few days prior, and then stay till a day or two after that golf tournament in Coronado the following week. So that would make then I get a chance to see family in the middle of the week.
And speaking of golf, Alex, send us when you can the scores, because we're trying to this year follow up and announce all the scores. If you can send us a list who was there, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. We want to try all the golf tournaments that we have, any Zonian tournaments, we like to announce them and what the results were.
And you're the first one of the year.
Yeah, you're the ones kicking
Alex
it off.
always wins. He always wins. He feels
he's the winner, right?
Before we get there.
You see,
well,
and I've gotten a bit.
Tournaments.
I sell scorecards at the end of the tournament.
I got the scorecards already ready for next year. They're already filled out.
See, that's the beauty of the reunion here. Even your scorecards are already filled out. Now, depending on what score you want, that depends on the price you're paying for your card. Okay,
Exactly.
you get the bargain card.
Good.
You're a little over par, right? You want some
Hey,
under par? Hay que pagar, papa.
so you want? I'm going to send you the golf scores, the
Yes.
winnings, and I'll send you the first annual Gatun Lake Fishing Tournament
Yeah,
results.
please do. Please
Yes,
do.
yes, yes.
We'll throw
Those
I
three
got,
together,
I
things.
throw
got
a cool
those.
graphic with scores on it, like a little ESPN style thing or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'll be
they're
cool.
actually just going to be photographs of my handwriting.
Man, I'll take that. Although it might have to get some handwriting experts to figure out what the hell I'm reading, but we'll work it out. We'll make something up. We're good
That
at making
sounds
shit up
cool.
here anyway.
We'll send it
So
to you, man. Hey, it was great to
yeah.
see you guys.
Hey, well,
Listen,
thank you for both of you
yes,
guys showing up on our show. Great to have
absolutely.
the Shorty and Slim gang.
Yeah,
Say
Yeah,
hi
we
to
much
your
should do that.
brothers.
appreciated. Yeah, for sure, guys. Take
Both
care.
of you, to your brothers.
Down the road, Alex. Don't forget Que Pasa. You guys are going to come on with us, and Thane and his Canal Zone community and project there, so we can start really get that whole community thing going. But dude, listen, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for everything you guys do for the Canal Zone and for this reunion, and we're really looking forward to
You
getting
bet.
it ready
Thank
for
you,
next year, man.
man. And
So
we'd like to thank you also by giving you this 12-year Ron Abuelo.
very nice. That's what it's all about.
We're gonna try it. We're gonna probably drink it for you first to
But
make
we're
sure
gonna
it's
give
good.
you the
I would,
bomb.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Give
would
us a
expect
review.
we don't know if it's good or not. You got to try it first, right? You
We
are
need
at
a
a
review.
happy hour at the Balboa Yacht Club, so you got to do that, Papa.
All right, man.
All right,
Hey,
guys. Hey, take care, man. Much love.
much love. Saludo.
See you guys. Dude, that was cool, man. That was a
Bueno,
lot of
Willie,
fun.
like always, I love our guests, man. I love
Yeah,
having
no,
our
Alex
guests on.
is top dog. I mean, this guy, he is just a absolute. He's a gem for the Canal Zone, man. He does so much for the zone and for Panama, and I mean, great reunion and some great charities, to help out there. So, like I mentioned
We
earlier,
got
and
Shorty
Cassie
tonight.
likes the idea. We're gonna definitely class of '86. Let's put something together, guys. Let's make it this year. Let's work on some fundraising stuff so we can give
And
something
class
to
of
the Canal Zone for
81
those guys.
too. Class of 81. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start
that'll be a lot of fun.
mobilizing my group.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Cassie's saying that put that on a note. She's celebrating 70th year. Wow, very cool. That's going to be awesome. Very, very good time. Looking forward to it. Guys, we were going to touch on some Panama Canal stuff. We've kind of run long, and again, like we've said in the past, and we said earlier here, the Panama Canal is near and dear to all of us, and since December 20th, obviously everything has been stirred up, for lack of a better term. It's created quite a few firestorms. At times, it's kind of become contentious in the Zonian community, which is really unnecessary and no good for anybody. We don't know what's going to happen with the Panama Canal. We can all speculate. The one thing is for certain, whatever was said on December 20th has now led to what we're going to see now, some conversations between Panama and the United States. Things are going to change. Are we going back to the Canal Zone? In all honesty, I doubt it. Is the relationship going to change? Most certainly. To how far and to what
Maybe not the
extent?
relationship, maybe just the status quo, but the relationship is strong.
Well,
And
it
it
is,
has
but
been strong.
it's strong. But let's not kid ourselves. When Panama started aligning itself with China, that started creating some friction in the United States relationship. That nobody can dispute that. But I still think it's a solid relationship. So much so that when this broke out, to a lot of people's shock, the general population in Panama really wasn't that taken aback. They were not that angry and upset about it. Certain people were, with maybe some ulterior motives, but the majority of the Panamanian people, I think, recognize that things aren't where they should be here. They probably weren't open to United States coming back in, but they're certainly not opposed to the United States having a more favorable position and China maybe having less of a favorable position. And I can see where that's probably going to be the result of all of these talks at the end of the day. But truth is, at this point, we're going in circles and we're talking about the ports and the bridges. We were going to hopefully have Andrew Eftimitis on. He wasn't able to make it. He had a long day today. He was working today, had to, run a ship through the canal and all that good stuff. But there are a lot of things there that we talk about that can or can't happen, but the truth is it's all speculation at this point. Marco Rubio arrives on Saturday in Panama. There's going to be some interesting conversations there. I find it amusing that that suddenly you can't find anything. Ricky and I were laughing about this before the show. We were chit-chatting a little bit, and I mean, you can't find anything Chinese in Panama right now. You go to Lung Fung right now, that menu is probably going to have arroz con pollo and guandú and frijoles, because
Steak and
they are
eggs.
sanitizing that country to say there is no Chinese involvement here, man. They're painting over signs, they're hanging up Panama flags everywhere, and they are like,
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
China who?
Yeah, but
You
no,
know, so
guys, truly, just a little reminder of our relationship. And right in '64, right during the riots and all that, Panama actually broke relations with the United States. There was no
they
diplomatic
did.
relations, and like to remind everybody how that was settled. Johnson got on the phone and called Chiari, and they worked out the deals on a phone call. So Panama and the U.S. guys, that's what's going to happen. You know, our relationships are so tight. So something like that is what we can expect.
It is. It's a tight family, and then sometimes you get mad at your brother and sister, your son, your daughter, your parents, or whatever. And maybe you don't talk for a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're still family.
Yeah.
And you know, the Canal Zone and Panama have always been intertwined. The United States and Panama have always had a close relationship, and even
And it's
at
going to
its
stay
worst
that way.
point,
Yeah.
it's still been a close relationship. And so I
Yeah.
don't think, I really don't think that there was any intent on the United States part to strong arm Panama and go in there and do any of those things. You know, we know what the current administration is like when it comes to words. You know, Donald Trump is very effective at persuading people and using, strong arguments. And that's what he's always done to get his negotiations and ultimately what he wants. But again, in my humble opinion, I don't think that he's after getting the Canal Zone back and putting the United States back in there, as much as he'd like to have some military bases and maybe a little bit more say in the canal operation, maybe a little bit more favorable treatment of the United States shipping. Not that they're unfavorable, maybe he just wants a little bit more of an advantage. Whatever the case is, they're going to work it out. And there's
They're
no
going to
point
work
in
it
us,
out. Yep.
We've got a great show here, and everything that everybody was commenting on here was about all the wonderful memories that we got to
Canal
experience
Zone.
at the reunion, and
Yeah.
that's what this show is about. So let's get back to what we're good at. We will still, of course, inform you of what's going on there, but
Any
we don't
good
want to turn
updates?
this
Just-
into a
yeah.
firestorm show every
Right.
week about
This
Canal.
week we would just be talking about the same things over and over and over.
Yeah.
So next week we'll update you with something new. We'll have something good for you guys.
Oh, I would think
But
there's going to be
Willie,
news because
we're-
they're meeting at this point, so there's definitely going to be something to talk about.
Some news,
But,
yeah. So
and then,
we're
of
right
course, like you said earlier, next week is the first of the month again, and our Canal Zone historian joins us. So we're going to go back to some cool Canal Zone history that we love to do, and from there we'll mix it up with a few other things. We'll probably do for maybe a small spillway segment or something like that, and hopefully we'll get more birthdays this time. But yeah,
Parents
all in
gotta
all,
get busy. But really, we're
Yeah.
right at the 2 hour mark, which is
We are.
We listen, guys. Every week, Willie and I we go over our agenda. We say, okay, we're gonna cut this down. We're gonna get it to 1 hour
Right.
and 30 minutes. So for us, 2 hour shows are 1 hour and 30 minutes.
It really
Sorry
is.
about
But
that.
nonetheless, we have a blast doing it. That's the thing about it. Before we realize it, we look at the clock, we're like, holy cow, look at how much time's gone by. But we're just having a great time talking. We're having a great time reading the comments and sharing the stories. And so, it's I don't mind it, and I love that people stay on. If you drop off, you drop off. It is okay. Jump back
No,
on. You know
but
that
the
these
numbers
shows are
stayed-
always on YouTube.
Yeah, the numbers stayed high and they didn't drop at all. It was great. We had
No,
great
it was a
audience.
good show. Alex is a good draw. I think Rich had an interesting point in one of the chats here. He goes, the show is always entertaining, but I think this trio makes sense. Food for thought. Alex is entertaining him. Alex is a good guy. He brings a lot
He
to the
brings a
table.
lot. Yeah, he brings a lot.
And he's obviously somebody that everybody looks up to. Alex is, he's got a heart of gold. He's everything he does. He's very much a man of God, and it's awesome to see that and to see what he does to help people out and certainly help the Canal Zone community. Plus, he's got some really cool songs. So, but nonetheless, next week, guys, beginning of the month. Dave Dahlstrom, our Canal Zone historian, is going to be joining us. Some other things later on in the month. Stay tuned because we've got some really, really exciting shows in the bucket there for you. But again, thanks for spending the weekend with us. And as usual, I'll let Ricky take us out of here and kick the weekend
Hey,
off. Man.
guys,
Do your thing,
well,
Papa.
Great. Thank you, Willie. Thank you again for having me on. And guys, thanks for commenting, for spending the time with us. Truly makes this a great show for us and for you guys. And I hope you're loving our content. We have a lot more. Like we said, we got 4 great shows coming up. But thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. We love you very, very, very much.
Salute, everybody.
Salute.
Good show, Ricky. That was really cool, man. That was awesome having Alex on and having Richard Grimison on too to give us that Class of '80 perspective.
Oh yeah. We love our guests. We love having our guests on.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But thanks everybody for joining us. Have yourselves an awesome weekend, guys. Take care. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.